Hey, everybody. Welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. That's right. We are live. We're going to be talking about The Invisible Man tonight, not the 1933 James Whale classic, but the 2021. That was actually directed by Lee Whannell. It was produced by Jason Blum for Blumhouse Productions in association, of course, with Universal. Universal, of course, had many plans to launch a dark universe, a shared cinematic universe, much like the stuff from the 30s and 40s. Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, maybe, Invisible Man for sure. They even were already working on an Invisible Man film starring Johnny Depp, but after the failure of Tom Cruise's Mummy, they tanked those plans. They decided they just wanted to focus on solo, modern adaptations of these films with a low budget. This movie was made for only $7 million. It's very streamlined, and in my opinion, a rather thoughtful update on H.G. Wells' story. I absolutely love Elizabeth Moss in this movie. She is the main character, even though she's not the Invisible Man. But that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. There will be some spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, I will warn you, there will be spoilers for this movie. It came out earlier this year. We neglected to watch it. We just skipped it. We were like, we're done. We're just skipping it, right? And then if we would have known that the movie theaters were about to close, we probably wouldn't have skipped it. But tonight with us, we have, as usual, an excitingly gaggled gang of misfits and conundrums and enigmas. It's the excitable PCP crew, everybody. Right next to me, we have Brooks, the Mario Master Man. Hey, say something. Let us know you're alive, Brooks.
I'm here.
Beep, boop, beep.
Still kicking.
Good to know. Sometimes it just looks like you've set up like a mannequin or a cardboard cutout.
Sometimes maybe I have.
Yeah, maybe. I know we're trying to piece
Maybe
it
I'm
together.
just that good. I can actually just replace the mannequin so quickly you wouldn't even notice.
I know, right? Jonathan Strickland's right next to him. How are you doing, buddy?
What's cracking?
It's cracking. What's cracking
Crack-a-lackin'.
is hot buttered popcorn. That's what's cracking.
Popcorn.
We also have Jelani. What's up, Jelani?
What's up? How you guys doing? Yo, yo, yo.
Most awkward introductions ever. And that son of a bitch, Dylan, down there.
Yo,
up,
Son
Dylan?
of a bitch.
what's going on? Good to
Dylan.
be here as always.
We're all excited to be here to talk about this movie. So I was actually rather surprised by this film.
Me too.
I shouldn't have been too surprised because I had heard from people that it was good. We didn't actually think this movie was going to be very good. When I first saw the first trailer, I was like, that seems like an odd take on The Invisible Man. Having watched it, I think it's a great way to take that story. And even though it's not like a mad scientist drinking a potion and going insane, it's about a dude who's already kind of insane and kind of, messed up in the head. And he has a suit that has all these cameras on it. We don't really know how that works, but like, who cares? Like, we don't really know how that potion works. But I thought it was a really cool way to adapt it and make it scary. The Invisible Man movie back in the day to me is not really scary. I love it so much, but to me, it's very funny. And it definitely is more Victorian era sci-fi than horror. This one is a horror film. This one's a horror film, straight up. It's got a great sense of pace to it. Elizabeth Moss is absolutely amazing. I think Lee Whannell did such an amazing job directing this film. His use of the camera to suggest that maybe there's an invisible man there, maybe he's not. You were glued. Your eyes are glued to the screen trying to find little hints and tips and clues. I was waiting when she's outside and it's cold. I'm like, I'm going to see some breath somewhere. I'm going to see some breath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just paying attention to it. Benjamin Wallfish, oh my goodness. The score in this movie blew me away. I loved it. It felt a little bit more like I like this renaissance we're getting of these low-key, low-budget, very subdued, but very effective horror films lately. Things like Get Out and A Quiet Place, right? And then you add in something like The Invisible Man. It kind of takes that same approach and is very effective adaptation of the story that I actually really, really did kind of dig, and I'm glad we watched it. Dylan, what do you think about it overall?
Yeah, I was definitely surprised by it. I thought it was going to be like more thriller-ish instead of like a horror, but after, watched it probably like 3 times now, like the score is phenomenal in it. That's a big thing that really makes it like really, like intense at times. Like even just like jumping right into it. yeah, like I think that, you know, that what year is it? 1941 or something, that old one?
33.
33.
33.
Damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say 31, but I was like, is it that old? Yeah, I remember the Invisible Man. You know, he's really wacky in that, and you know, he's got that little sinister laugh. And this one is like an updated one. You know, if you've seen like Upgrade and stuff, you can kind of see where he was like, you know, where he goes with that. You know,
That's another Wannell film, the one he did right
yeah.
before.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, man. It was it right before?
I think it
Yeah.
was. Maybe it
I think
wasn't.
you're right. Yeah, I was trying to think.
It
I thought
I
was.
you
haven't
said-
seen it, but I've heard it's good.
Oh
It's
man,
good.
it is. It
It's
is.
good.
I mean, this is the guy who brought us Saw, and you know
Yes.
what, man? I love this guy just period, because if he's gonna, you know, if he just, you know, Tom Cruise's Mummy sunk Universal down, like the Universal Monsters stuff down, and you know me, Robbie. I love this stuff, and now we got news of a Wolfman story. You know, we might get a Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele wants to do one with Will Smith, a Universal Monsters movie. So man, this is a great time, man, and this is a great movie. So I'm excited for it, and I like it. I definitely like it. I know I said a lot there, but I'm excited for this one, man.
That's good.
It's launching something that I love, man, that I've longed for my
Yeah.
entire life. You know, 'cause they've
And
never
even though
really-
they wanted to launch something, it's not necessarily they're not going to try to focus on connecting everything together so
Yeah.
quickly,
yeah, because
or if at all.
it wasn't meant for that. You know, this was
Yeah.
just it was a one shot, and just because of how I don't think even the studio or Blumhouse knew it was going to be as good.
Yeah.
You know, and it just not. You know, it did so well that they're going to start, you know, giving it a shot, which I'm very excited about. I hope Blumhouse kind of works on all of them. And like you said, man, $7 million, like
Yeah.
low budget, you know?
The only problem is, you know, when you get to the Wolfman, you can't get too low budget. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Jelani, what do you think about the movie overall? This was, and Dylan had seen this movie, but the rest of us, we hadn't seen this.
Yeah, I didn't
So
see
we
it.
all
haven't
just
seen it.
watched
This
it.
is the first time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I liked it. It's really well paced. I like Elizabeth Moss, like the fact that you think she's crazy, or she thinks she's crazy. I know she's not. You know, the audience probably believes that she's not, but like it was uncomfortable how it made her, you know, because she's trying to explain, you know, why is your sister dead? Why are all these things happening to you? Why did you write that mean letter to your sister? Little things like that throughout the movie. Why did you hit that girl? You know what I'm saying? Why all these little things in the movie kind of build up to make it look like she is insane. Like this is supposed to happen to her. Like this is meant to happen to her because she's crazy. And at first, I really didn't like the very beginning of the movie because I had no clue what was going on. I was like, why is she running from this guy? Why is she doing all this stuff? And then you start to realize over time that he is very controlling to the point where I knew that he was what he was. So I loved the pacing of the film. I didn't like it at the beginning, but once I kind of understood what was happening, it looked a lot better to me.
Yeah.
I love that Invisible Man suit, all the optic cameras. I kind of guess what's going on. It's like reflecting the behind it, kind of like the car in Die Another Day.
Or it's like, kind of like some Mysterio stuff too, right?
Right.
I was gonna say, yeah, Mysterio.
Yeah, it's creepy, and the suit is because it has so many eyes. It's so creepy to look at,
It is.
and the fact that it is a monster. He is a genuine, straight up monster, and I appreciate that, and I'm glad that they're able to put this on film. The you know, and I want updated versions of all of this. I mean, yeah, it's not a potion, but I'm glad it's not a potion because I wanted to see. It's been done before.
Yeah.
The Memoirs of the Invisible Man with Chevy Chase. I like that.
John Carpenter film.
John Carpenter. Yeah. And there are just so many. There are so many other movies that it's been done to death in a different way, and this one was a brand new take. It follows Elizabeth Moss so well. It makes her, you know, it feels claustrophobic. So I'm very very glad I got to see it. I definitely, enjoy it again. I want to see it with people again, just to get other people who haven't seen it, like their actual reaction to what's going on.
Yeah, I had a
it's
lot
good.
of fun with it, and the suit does look good, and I think it's very effective because it has that impression of having all the holes in it. And whenever I see I've seen this video one time of this frog birthing a bunch of other frogs, and they all come out of the frog's skins, and it's all holy and porous or whatnot, and that's really freaking creepy to me.
It is.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
creepy to me too.
It actually does look a little
It's an
creepy.
actual
and textured.
disease. That's an actual disease of people's minds. I forgot what it's called. I'll have to look
It's
it
called
up later.
LSD is what that's called.
It's
Bad
LSD.
LSD.
Yeah, man, it's a trip.
No, but the movie is I like the way it starts off because it completely relies. This movie relies so much on the music and the silence as well, and it starts off there's no dialogue or nothing, and it was easy for me to piece it together because I was like, okay, she's fleeing from a rich white dude. Okay, I got it. I understand. I get
that. I was like, why is she running from this dude?
Well, you also know from the trailer that he's kind of abusive and and controlling or whatnot. But yeah, what about you, Strick? What'd you think about the movie overall?
Yeah, first time watch for me. I really enjoyed it. I kind of like that we have all some different opinions because past few it's kind of like Sandlot, The Thing, you could do no wrong. So this is I like this because I thought the movie was the first two parts were really done well. I thought the ending kind of suffered, but and I really didn't like the suit. I was telling Robbie this, I didn't like the suit at all. I kind of wish they kept that, I don't know, did something different. But I thought the movie was really, really strong. As a horror thriller fan, this was awesome. Elizabeth Moss, like everyone said, she killed it. I know her from Mad Men, so this is a totally Mad Men. You've been talking about that comic book. You got me on it. Thinking about it.
I wish there was a Mad Men TV
I know her
series.
from Mad Men, and this is totally different from that role.
Mad Men is good.
Yeah, it's cool to see her in this, and it's creepy because me and my lady were watching it, and I'm just like, man, you're this could really the psychological factor of it, him messing with her, that's very real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many people are in relationships like that? That's why it was freaking me out, So I thought it was good, man. I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, playing head games with her and setting her up for murder and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like even that suit though is it's weird, but it's also cool because you feel like that suit could actually be made. You know what I mean? I feel
for sure.
If we're not if we can't make it yet, I feel like that in the near future somebody can make something like that, which is weird,
Yeah,
Man,
I like the technology aspect of it, and I do.
Yeah.
And 'cause what it does is it doesn't just because a lot of these movies that will take something old and try to modernize it, they just kind of place it in today, right?
Yeah.
But they just they don't change things. Sometimes you actually have to change things about the story to make it work in a modern context.
Right.
And I think that's something they did very well with this one because you add in the idea that she's trying to escape this abusive relationship. She's being super gaslit through this entire movie.
Yeah,
Nobody
100%.
believes her.
No one.
100%.
And then she has a great arc where she realizes that nobody's going to help her because she has to help herself, and then she becomes that typical horror movie, last surviving woman. You know what I'm saying? And finds her power. Right. I do agree with Strickland that I think that the third act could be way leaner. Right. I think there could be some time cut out and that would make it flow better. I think it has an excellent pace at first. And then that last act, this is something you get with movies nowadays. And it seems like
it's hard to wrap up.
And you try, it's hard to wrap it up and you try to do too many twists or whatever. So it's not
a lot of twists.
So I think that's the thing. Speaking of a lot of twists, these pretzels are making me thirsty, Brooks. What do you think about the movie overall?
Well, I'm always disappointed when I watch these Invisible Man movies, and none of them are based on the Ralph Ellison book. Nobody got that joke.
No.
I did it.
Sorry.
Is that a book that has pictures in it? Because those are the only ones we read.
One of the things they did different that I liked a lot was, make the fact that the suit means that he's in control. Not only can he just slip in and out of the suit whenever he feels like, but also in a lot of the other Invisible Man stories, usually the serum or potion or whatever is affecting his brain. So you think, like, is it just him, having a power trip, or is like the serum messing with his brain as well?
Yeah.
And this,
Mhm.
it's all him. Like, he's just this psycho. He's just this crazy and controlling, and the fact that he can just whenever he wants to, he can become invisible, and then he can just go home, take off the suit, and sleep it off.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a very psychotic Invisible Man, which I
Yeah,
liked a lot because
vindictive.
that's
Yeah,
what makes him scary. Is like, what?
petty.
Like, he can just attack her at any time, but he just doesn't. He just likes to. He just fucks with her. He say surprise or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stepping on the sheets.
Yeah.
That was evil.
Can you imagine what that's
Oh.
like? You're just like, what? You're like, what the hell? I think that
back and that little girl.
yeah. I like the guy who played the Invisible Man. It's the dude that was in Haunting of Hill House. His name's Oliver Jackson Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oliver Jackson Cohen, I believe. And I think he did a fine job. And I like that the movie's not really about him. It's about Elizabeth Moss's character. And what's it, Cecilia or something like that?
Cecilia, yeah.
Cecilia,
Yeah.
C.
And so I think that she was really good. I do think that it's a little weird. And of course, there's the twist about who the Invisible Man actually is and all this. And we'll probably get to that a little bit later. But there are moments in it towards the end too where I'm like, okay, so I get that this dude may work out, but like, how is he able to just beat the shit out of all these people? I get that they can't see him, right? But I feel like it would be kind of a little bit easier to handle an Invisible Man than this movie would allow us to believe. Do you know what I'm saying? There are plenty of moments where a cop just like sees something happen. So obviously her story's right. There's an Invisible Man, and then they just kind of like,
oh, what's going on?
Wait for this really, and it's like, okay, I get it. Daredevil had a hallway scene; it was popular, so we got to do one in this movie too. So
that was a good hallway scene, though.
Honestly, though, it seems like she handled the Invisible Man pretty well, but everyone else kind of sucked at it.
I just want to know
that her cop friend got his ass kicked so much because that dude was shredded too.
Yeah.
Like, really, this guy's gonna kick the fucking shit out of this dude just because he can't see him?
He got his ass
like being that close to him, you'd have an idea of where he was and you could wail on him, but
he
like,
got
just
his
start
ass
swinging.
beat like that was Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse on top of him, just wailing.
Yes, that was a beating.
But even though the movie's called Invisible Man, it's not really his movie. It's Elizabeth Moss's movie, and I think she does a fantastic job here. Now, I've never seen Mad Men, and I've watched bits and pieces of Handmaid's Tale. Alicia watched that, and it seemed like she's really good in that.
Though.
Right?
She's good.
So I've seen her in Us, and
she was in Us.
I don't know if I've seen her in much else, to be honest, but her performance in this movie was absolutely fantastic. She was 100% committed. She did a great job of staying in character, of making us feel what it feels like to be in that situation, making it totally believable because of her emotional commitment to that role. And I absolutely just thought that she was absolutely fantastic in this film. What do you think, Dylan?
About Cecilia? Sorry, my brother was bringing me in food. Yeah, I thought, dude, she was like crazy good. Like the level of emotion and like the psychological trauma she goes through. I mean, like, I don't know if we want to get into it. I mean, we usually talk spoilers anyways. I mean, it's not the end, but the dinner scene or the restaurant scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't expect that at all. That's just totally out of nowhere. And, yeah, man, like just from her, did you mention like her having to go to the mailbox? You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff.
No, but that was a great character touch.
Yeah, like all that stuff, and you're almost like, who is this guy she's living with? I mean, you kind of figure out that I guess it's just a high school friend or something, or just a friend, a friend. Period. But yeah, man, like she does so well, and like it kind of turned me off. I'm not gonna lie at first because I've seen this a couple times. I ended up watching it because my family wanted it, so we bought it on Amazon Prime. Like I had held out a little bit because I didn't want to pay $20 to rent it. So as soon as I was able to get it for 20, like it was only for like a day or something. You might be able to buy it still now, but I did it and then I watched it and I didn't like it as much. So I honestly liked it more the second time because I kind of was like, I was surprised. I was like, this isn't really about the Invisible Man. Like it kind of is offsetting because it's all about Cecilia. She's the main character. The Invisible Man is kind of like in the shadows. You know what I mean? But when you sit back and watch her performance, it's definitely incredible.
Yeah, definitely incredible.
I don't know if I've seen her in anything else. I know you guys mentioned Mad Men or whatever. I've only seen like one or two episodes of that wasn't a show I ever got into. But yeah, I'd be, maybe we'll get an Invisible Woman sequel. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the old days. So,
yeah, the Invisible Woman, which was more of a comedy.
Yeah.
But there is in development an Invisible Woman film. And it's an Elizabeth Banks. She's supposed to direct and star in it. And I don't know if the success of this movie is going to have any kind of effect on that.
Yeah.
But that was like announced at the end of last year or something like that. So,
but if that's from Elizabeth Banks, I feel like she's going to try to go up that alley of like a comedy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, possibly.
She did that Charlie's Angels, which I haven't seen, but I wouldn't say she's the best director. I don't know.
Out of all the Universal monster films, it seems like the Invisible Man to me are the ones that have the weakest legacy. Like the sequels are kind of like Invisible Woman is like kind of a comedy, and the Invisible Agent's kind of like a war movie, and it's not like the other one. There is the second one, The Invisible Man Returns, right? And then there's even a revenge one, right? Revenge of the Invisible Man. And then there's the Abbott and Costello one, which is actually really fun.
That one's the best.
Yeah, but I think it's really cool to make her the main character and have us follow her journey.
Yeah.
Rather than get into to Iron Man it, and it's about this dude discovering this suit and figuring it out. And I like how they just went straight up for the very subtle horror aspect of it. Made it for the first time an Invisible Man movie. I feel like that actually is a horror film. Jelani, what do you think about Moss in this film overall?
Yeah, she's fantastic. I watched all of Mad Men, and she was one of the best parts of it. Like her character is fantastic. So she knows, right? Yeah, it's a TV show. Sorry, it's about an ad. It's about an ad agency, and she's like, it's an ad agency in the '60s, and they have like, preconceived notions of women in the workplace and things like that. So she starts out as a secretary, and as a secretary, she grows. She actually moves up the ranks because she has good ideas.
Yeah,
and it turns out, she's a fantastic ad person, and she knows exactly what she's doing. She's very, very capable. She has her own dark secrets. There's stuff like in Mad Men. I love Mad Men because of how complex it is. So
yeah, it's a very dark show.
Yeah, it's a fantastic show. I really suggest you watch it. Like if you have time to watch it. But
check it out.
Yeah, but Handmaid's Tale, I've watched a few episodes of it, and I kind of got used to like the story. I just it's dystopian future and stuff like that. But she's great in it. She's a great main character. I like how she plays. She's very stoic in that show as well. So it all brings back to this movie where she is perfect for this role. She plays the victim very well, but she plays a victim that knows how to fight back. She's a very, very good final character, and she's very capable in the role. It feels like I said before, it's very claustrophobic because she's alone in all of this, and no one believes her, and it feels like she's about to like lose it. I'd have lost it by now. Like, I don't think I would have made through half of that. I mean, I know
you would have made it through the first 5 minutes, Jelani.
5 minutes, I'd have been dead.
You would have set off an alarm. Yep. You would have woken up
immediately. I wouldn't have climbed any. I ain't climbing no fences. I ain't waiting for nobody. No, I'd have had my own car. I have a whole different plan of whatever the plan she had at the beginning of that film. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to let the dog go? What's that about?
Hey.
I was
It's
like,
not the dog's fault.
Hey.
The guy's a douchebag, right?
I was like, I don't care.
You didn't want to leave that cute dog with that asshole, man.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
done it too.
That's true, but I was
That's
like,
the sequel. The sequel's The Invisible Dog.
yeah, you can't take the dog with you. You can't take it over the fence. So why'd you let the dog go? Why'd you even care? Like,
I'll
get
tell
out
you,
of there. Get the dog later. Get the
I was
dog
kind of
later.
pissed about that because I was like, you don't even take it with you. I was like, you didn't take, you just let the dog go. Like now he might get hit by a car or something. I was like,
Exactly.
taking him with you at least. Like,
I was so
hell?
mad. Yeah, you're right. I was mad
At least
too.
he's gonna get fed by the asshole, you know.
Right. But
Now he's yeah.
just so much,
Well,
man.
if he'd had that dog chipped, then he could have just used the dog to follow her.
Yeah.
True, but she took the chip off, and then the dog ran, and I was like,
Well,
oh,
now they put chips inside your dog's body now.
I always wonder though, because they
That's
go back
horrible.
to his house after he's dead, and I'm like, this dog's just been living here the last couple weeks while he's dead still. I'm like, who's taking care of the dog? You know what I mean? He goes back. I don't know how long it's been since he's been dead, supposedly. But I'm like, this dog's still here. Like nobody took it. Like, you know, I don't know.
There's a staff in the house. You know, there's got to be some kind of staff in that house.
Yeah.
It has to be. It's way too big.
Dog cleaning, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
That dude had like a Bond villain type house, by the way.
Yes, he did. All square blocked off.
He's an optic scientist. I'm
He had
like,
his
that's kind of,
laboratory in there.
I'm like, that's kind of vague to me. I don't know what that means. To me, is so he's an eye doctor. I'm
Yeah,
saying,
I thought it was. He knows
just on his
optics.
spare time. Now I'm sure he develops cameras probably for I don't know, satellites and shit like that.
I think that's kind of what it was. Something like an optics designer or something. Yeah, they were vague on it, definitely.
But super controlling. I got it.
Yeah.
And I get that he would make a suit like that. And the funniest part is, why would he make that suit by himself? There should be a company that's making this suit, and they'd be like, wait a minute, she might not be crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody that came out that said that.
Yeah, but it's probably some high level black op government program or something, you know?
Right.
Kind of deep state type shit.
Did you notice though, when she's leaving, when she goes to turn off the security cameras and the alarm or whatever, she looks over to when she goes back. This is before she goes back when the house is empty. To find where the suit is, she looks in that room and she's like, "What the hell is in there?" You know, she looks in the room where the suit is.
She does.
So he had made that suit beforehand. You know, I don't know what his plans always were. I guess maybe he was so smart he knew all her moves, knew what she was thinking. Maybe he knew she was gonna leave her, and he's like, "I'm gonna make something, so if she ever leaves me." But yeah, I feel like you got he had to been have some government contract to be working out this. You know, I don't know.
He's probably used it on her before. That's the thing, because she even says in the movie that he's always watching her. He always knows where she is.
Yeah,
she's always been doing this, so he's probably been doing it for so long. He's been controlling her life for so long. She's probably said some messed up things to him or about him that he was present for because he was in that suit. And the faking of the death and all that stuff was just, it probably triggered him continually using that suit, which is just nuts.
He probably followed her to that doctor's appointment when she got the birth control pills, and that's how he knew. You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Oh, I already know what your plan is." I bet you're right. He was doing that beforehand.
Yeah, he was doing way before. Yeah. I think he was all the time. And I think it was full on. That's why he was super controlling of her.
If he had the suit, he was using it. Ever since,
I use it. Shoot. I had a suit.
Strickland, what do you think of Elizabeth Moss in this film?
Thought she was terrible. I thought the dog was the best part.
Mm-hmm. You can't steal Brooks' shtick, okay?
I agree, Jay Strick.
No.
Thing.
I mean, she was awesome. I mean, she for her being in this movie, I thought she did really well because even throughout the movie, she never really is just waiting around for something to happen. She's always engaging, trying to figure out whether she's putting the Gothic grounds on the floor, or she just grabs a knife to protect herself, or goes in the attic. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times in horror movies, like the chick just like does something stupid, and you're like, man, I would never do that. She's pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think she did a great job. She really captures the role of like that victim, but not like you see her like the strength in her as the movie goes on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I thought she did fantastic, man.
Absolutely. What about you, Brooks? What do you think?
I thought she did really good too. I like the idea that of the reason she manages to deal with him is because she knows as much about him as he knows about her. Like she's been observing him too. Like she knows how he is, like how he thinks. So eventually she figures out how to turn that against him. But still, like even if you know that, this guy that you can't stop, you never know where he is. Like it's crazy, man. That's the scary part is like the psychological aspect of just thinking like, what if somebody you really didn't like, or someone who really didn't like you, could just be standing there and you not even know it.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
We've all had that moment where we feel like somebody's we feel a presence in the room,
Somebody's watching me.
And so much of this movie was handled like just showing the chair, showing the corner of the room, and just did a great job with that. And her performance helped bring all that to life. There were other people in this movie, of course. Somebody I would like to spotlight would be Aldous Hodge. That was her childhood friend who she winds up living with after she escapes from Adrian Griffin. By the way, I do want to point out that I love that they use the original last name of the Invisible Man.
Yep.
So I think that's cool. It could even be, I had an idea in my head that like the Griffin from the novel could have been like his like great grandfather or something like that.
That would be dope.
Yeah, and it's a family business or something like that, right? But I really think that his name is Aldous Hodge. He played the friend. I don't remember the character's name, but I really liked him. He was very believable because he was very supportive of her. But when he thought that she slapped his daughter, he was immediately turned.
He was on it.
He was like super dad. Like that was. He was like, I'm gonna get my daughter away from here. I suggest you get your crazy ass out of my house.
Yeah, he honestly handled it really well.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really cool character. What about you, Dylan? Some other performances you want to highlight?
I would say, I guess if we're not going to talk about the dogs, A-listing performance. I probably would. I mean, I'd say the brother was pretty good. Especially with the twist. I don't know if we're gonna just blurt out.
Full on spoilers.
I figured, me. I just like to be careful so we don't get screamed at.
And that's Michael Dorman who played that character. Yeah,
though you never really you always know he's in cahoots. That he has to know something. That he, especially in the jail scene when he kind of gives her the deal. You're like, oh, like I knew he knew he was alive still.
There was that one moment though where he kind of convinced me that he wasn't. That moment where he's like, I hated him just as much as you did.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, he does a good job at convincing you. Like he's like, man, I'm free of him. Like I wanted him gone. Like But
maybe he was at the time. Maybe it wasn't revealed to him until after he'd said that.
It's kind of funny too because at the end, Adrian, he's like, my brother it might not have seemed like it, but my brother had me under his thumb. So it's kind of like that just shows how crazy the Adrian is that he like flips it like that, like it's nothing. So honestly, they both were psychotic, Adrian and him. I wonder though how much the brother was in the suit, or if maybe, I honestly have a feeling though that that could have been the only time he was in the suit.
I think it was.
I think because they make it seem like that Adrian is such a genius that he knew all the moves she was gonna make. But
if he is the guy in the suit in that scene in particular, no matter who it is, how where did they train? Like where did they get this like military training on how to take out an entire hallway filled with security guards and police officers?
Well, it does help that you can't be seen and that they can't.
It helps a little bit, but like I don't know.
They can't contemplate something that's not there.
There was
You know what
some
I'm saying?
fighting
You don't
moves,
see
though.
it. So you're like, holy crap, what's coming at me? I don't know what this is. Is it a ghost?
How about
Is
the
Start
it
floating
swinging.
gun? The floating gun slowly turning at you. You know, what about the invisible man on top of you? And you're like a dude who apparently spends 4 hours a day in a gym, and he's just like beating the shit out of you. This little snotty, thin ass white dude is just beating the shit out of this dude. And I'm just like, I get that he's invisible, but like I can feel him.
You can get a
Like,
hit. I get a hit in.
choke holds. I don't. Well, that's bad. But yeah, he's like, come on, really? This dude just gets his ass whipped, man. Like, and he's like, I mean, not just. I was like, this dude's literally about to punch this dude to death.
Yep.
I was like, they're giving
I
me
thought
like
he was
they're
dead
giving
for a
me like,
second.
yeah, they're giving me Rocky IV type shit right here with this, you know. And I'm like,
And
I
you
don't
breaking
understand.
that suit. And that suit's getting messed up.
Yeah, how
I
you
know,
gonna hit
I-
somebody? You're not breaking the damn camera.
They
I
break
just
the
don't.
cameras.
One
Yeah.
camera messes up. That whole thing should glitch, right?
Yeah.
I was definitely surprised that the lawyer could beat up Aldous Hodge. You know, like that was a little, especially like when you were like, okay, Adrian, because he was like crazy and he breaks that damn window. Yeah, I could see that a little bit more. I feel like he might have, you know, stronger, better fighting skills, possibly because he's rich, probably works out and all that. But the lawyer, I wouldn't see him taking Aldous Hodge that easily, you know.
Me either.
Just because he's
I'm
invisible.
sorry, I still say it. Element of surprise. You don't know what's coming at you.
Was there
And-
2 or 3 suits though?
I think there
I
were
thought
2.
I remember seeing 3.
That's what
Well,
I
oh,
wonder.
probably
Like,
3.
is there, because she hides one.
Who's
Were
to
the
say?
brother and him and were the brother and them sharing a suit, or were they switching off? You know, like did they have their own?
Is there more somewhere else?
Yeah.
See, I think the movie would have done a little bit better like this, right? If, let's say, at the end of the film, let's say that's the end of the film, we don't continue on. Now I get that we needed this arc, we needed the character of Cecilia, right? We needed her to like not just be a victim, and like Strickland said, she is progressing this entire movie from that moment that Dylan pointed out when she makes it to the mailbox for the first time. From that moment on, everything she does is a step forward, you know?
Yep.
And so I really like that the message about this is like when you deal with something traumatic or you escape a bad situation, even though it's scary at first, you just keep going, right?
Sure.
Little steps, and then all of a sudden you're the heroine at the end of the movie, you know? So I like that idea of it. But I think it would have been really cool and badass. And I know that they just wanted to make this one movie and they didn't know how successful it was going to be. But imagine if they unmask and it's the brother, and they're like, "Well, case closed. We got it. You're free."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the last thing you see is surprise, right? And then the movie ends. But that would, I understand how that would thematically leave the power in his hands still. And I get that you don't want to end the movie that way. But I think I think that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, it did. I mean, I like how
Upgrade's kind of a sad ending.
I don't understand how she knew how to use that suit so quickly, but I don't know, because I don't know, because it seemed like there was like a tablet involved, like you needed a program to activate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, did she just get an app on her phone?
Early in the movie, she knew how to use his computers and turn his stuff off.
She's pretty smart.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it's just the way that scene was cut. It had seemed like she went back there and put on that suit so damn quick. You know what I'm saying?
She just ran back there. Yeah,
in that dress and high heels.
What about you, Jelani? Some other performances, some other characters.
I liked the little girl,
Yes.
Sydney.
Storm Reed.
Yeah, Storm Reed.
She was in 12 Years a Slave.
Well, I was gonna say that.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
But yes, she was in 12 Years a Slave. She was great in 12 Years a Slave. I liked her character because, like, she was trying to be a best friend. Oh, she's not trying. She was a best friend to Cecilia, and it felt like they had a good, genuine connection. They had good chemistry together. You know, even when she got hit, she turned around and it was a great character. She was a great character to begin with, and I liked their dynamic together.
I worried for her too. I thought she was going to wake up in that bed and she was going to be dead or something. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I thought they were going to kill her, man. I thought that was it. I was like, she'll be dead, and then Elizabeth Moss will have another death on her hands. You know what I'm saying? And it's just it was right and left the whole time, and I loved her in that thing. She was also in another movie. She was in something else that I didn't see. The Turn It
Slight.
No. the Anna Duvernay movie, the what dream not what dreams may come. Good grief, you know what I'm talking about. It was the children's
Wrinkle in
book.
Time. Wrinkle in Time. Wrinkle
There
in
you
Time.
go.
Yeah,
Wrinkle.
yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think Wrinkle in Time.
She's in
I
Suicide
didn't see
Squad
it.
too.
Oh yeah,
So
she's
it's
the
the new
daughter
one.
of Suicide Squad.
She's the new one. Yeah.
The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the
Okay,
Suicide
cool.
Squad.
Cool. Yeah, but I liked her. In this
Oh, and
movie.
she's in Santa's Boot Camp from 2016. We know that one, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Thank the gods for Wikipedia.
You got to make checks.
But yeah, that's a great character, and you feel
Which is
bad
great.
for her too when all of a sudden her future hopes like fall because this dude's messing with Elizabeth Moss's character. You know, when she sets up the bank
Right.
account to get her to fashion school, was it or was it? Yeah, it was fashion school, right?
Yeah, it was fashion school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've watched enough Jim and the Holograms to know that fashion school is no laughing matter. Like that's a real thing.
That's right.
It can almost break up a band.
I think
It's
it's
gonna
truly
take-
outrageous.
Truly, truly outrageous. Speaking of being truly outrageous, Jay Strick, what are another character you want to spotlight?
I liked her sister's performance. I don't remember her name in the movie, but I grew up with a sibling, so I get that like older brother, older sister protective mentality. So it's like, yeah, I get it, and I get there could be confrontation with siblings, and at the end of the day, it's all love though. So that's why that scene was like gut wrenching to me because I'm like, dang.
They made
'Cause
up
that-
and everything.
Like,
yeah.
like after all that, like she still came. Like she didn't have to come to the meal. You know what I'm saying? Like after everything she thought she did, and then she gets her, you know. So I thought she did strong. I thought she played her role very well.
Yeah, it was a great performance, and that scene is a very memorable scene because when it happened, I was like, oh, because you're in this,
do that?
you're in this movie, and you're like, one of these people close to her is going to have to die. Like,
so quick.
we know it, and it happened so quick, and it literally like, I like got taken back, right? But then the way it happens, so there's the floating knife, and just as you are registering that that's him, that happens, and then all of a sudden it just like
It's so fast.
it's very
He goes right to her
comically
hand.
and
Yeah, I had to
cartoony like
rewind
that.
it.
I
I had to rewind it.
this
'cause
dude
I
would
kinda
have to
missed
like
it.
open her fist and like I think it would have been better if he would have placed the knife in her hand and then moved her hand, right? Because here's the other thing. Security camera footage is everywhere. This movie goes out of its way to point out that security cameras are everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
No one saw the
apparently
floating knife.
not in this restaurant, right? Because then they just see this floating knife, you know, but I don't know. It seemed like it was so goofy how quick it went back. And it took a very shocking moment to me and kind of made it go, huh, that's a little Jim Carrey-like. I don't know. Not that that's Jim Carrey-like, but it happens. I don't know. Whatever.
Don't bring
It
Jim
was
Carrey
so
into this.
fast. It really was.
It was comically fast. That's what I'm trying to say. It was like a damn cartoon. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was like
It was-
Wile E.
It
Coyote.
was like slit. What?
See, that's how I felt about the like when she stabs him and he goes all glitchy. Like I just thought that was silly because he just
See,
kept glitching out like a video game.
See, but I like that because you got to have that moment where you as the audience can
Yeah.
kind of see where he's at, you know, and I'm glad they at least addressed something. But here's the thing. She stabbed that dude how many times?
That's
And
what I'm saying.
all that happened was the suit got glitchy. He
I was
wasn't like
surprised they didn't have like blood coming off of him so that she
Yeah.
could see him through that way. That's what
he
I
should have
figured.
been bleeding. This dude, okay, apparently they left out the part where he did drink a serum and it did give him super soldier abilities because I mean I don't understand. Like I get
Well,
that you
I mean,
can't see
he's
him.
got
She
a
stabbed this
layer.
dude like 8 times in the
I know, but
fucking
it's a
chest.
layer of camera. It's a layer of cameras or whatever they were.
But
Okay.
they still went inside
Well,
of him.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
defend this one, she throws a bucket of paint on him and he washes it off in 5 seconds. How does
Yeah.
that happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's difficult
Yeah.
to believe. Like,
Yeah,
that's
true.
not that easy.
Yeah.
That scene,
Maybe
by the
the
way, when
suit-
she
the
pours
suit
the
like
bucket,
such a-
that was the best jump scare in the movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
That's the one I
Yeah,
remember.
pretty
It
good.
was. It was.
I like
And
that.
that music behind it too.
Yeah. Brooks, another character, and we're probably near out of them, but is there
Yeah,
anybody
that's
else?
all of them pretty much.
Well, we haven't really
This
talked
movie's
about.
actually pretty sparse on characters, you know. So
Yeah, there
it was
wasn't a
just
lot.
kind of good because every character gets their
Yeah.
chance, you know.
Yeah.
And like, and they're all good. Like,
What'd you
there's
think
no
about
character
Adrian?
I disliked, or well, I mean, I kind of disliked the Invisible Man. You're supposed to dislike him.
You could talk
So-
about the creepy architect guy that was gonna hire.
So I'm gonna
Or-
take a star off because the bad guy was too bad.
Oh wow! Right? Yeah. There you go. All right. So
Wow.
we've been neglecting the chat long enough. Let's take a look at everybody in here, and feel free to start throwing out your thoughts on the Invisible Man. Sam Fett was first, as he usually is. 1-2 comic talk in the house. Herminio, PCP for life. If you're going to say
What's up, son?
PCP for life, by the way, I do appreciate it if you spell life with a Y. That's how we like to do it here at the Excitable PCP crew. Two Gun
Life.
Pedro.
LYFE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lifey.
Life.
Yeah. Life.
That's how we do it in 256.
Yeah, the 256. What's up, Easy Reader? What's up, Lee D? Haven't seen this movie yet. Look like I'm going to have to now. I hope you, yeah. And if you're still watching, I mean, we done spoiled everything for you. Perry was lurking around. That's cool. The scariest part was when she was in the attic. Ben, you're right. The attic scene was really
Yeah, the
good.
attic was pretty awesome.
Really good. Easy Reader laughing. I think that's when Brooks made that joke nobody got. I think Easy
The
Reader
Ralph
got it.
Ellison joke.
Yeah, I still
Yeah.
don't get it.
What's up, Samuel? What's up, Comic Book Therapy? Brett's in the building, says, I dug this take on the Invisible Man. All right. I think that Lee Whannell is a force to be reckoned with in horror movies from this movie alone. And of course, he was as Dylan mentioned, he was the writer of Saw. He was also the actor in Saw. He's the other guy in Saw. Not Cary Elwes, but the other guy.
The first one. Yeah, the other guy.
And he worked with James Wan in other films. He wrote Dead Silence. He wrote the Insidious films. And I think the third Insidious film was his first film that he directed. And then that's that Upgrade film, which I hear really good things about. And then
it's good.
One. So he's got a great eye for horror. Jason Blum knows exactly what to do. Blumhouse has been kind of making their name known in the horror game for a few years now, right? Yeah. And I like this idea of the stripped down $7 million. They don't have to worry about it. Like when The Mummy tanked, that's a big deal, you know? And when they want to do the Dark Universe thing and you want to make it with a big name actor like Tom Cruise and you want to spend a bunch of money on it, that means it's got to appeal to a massive audience, right? And so that's not the vibe of these films.
Right.
Like it's not what horror fans want.
It's not action.
Horror fans don't want Fast and Furious. You know,
No.
we want horror films. And take a look at, there's plenty of horror films that are successful, but take a look at the ones that really stand out and last. And Invisible Man feels like it's kind of made more in that line for me. And that's all because of Lee Whannell. I love the pacing of this film. I think story-wise, script-wise, it gets clunky in the third act, could be trimmed down a little bit, probably be more effective that way. But the way that this story progresses, the way that he, you know, it's easy to make this film for $7 million because you don't have to CG an Invisible Man. And they didn't go the Hollow Man approach and go really cheesy with it. Like they literally just nobody's there. And you're using the camera to make the audience know, because we know from the beginning this dude's an Invisible Man. So we're looking for it. You know, and I wonder how many moments I missed in the film where there was a hint or a clue.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love the scene where he like just goes. I love how he's just slowly messing with her, and he goes and they linger on the kitchen. That's another thing that happens.
Yeah.
If somebody leaves, they'll linger behind,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and you're like, is he there? And you see the knife fall, and then he turns up the stove, and then the bacon catches on fire. Love it. So, what do you think about the directing in this film, Dylan?
Man, literally, as you were gonna just talk about the lingering, you know, I was gonna just say that kitchen scene when a lot of people don't notice that knife drop. Man, I think this guy is like, he's in his prime right now, and I can't wait to see what he does next. You know, you gotta watch Upgrade, as me and Jelani keep saying that.
Yeah, man.
Really good, and you can see where he takes that technological aspect from Upgrade into this. You know what I'm saying? If you watch that, you'll be like, oh, okay, I can see this guy's got a thing for technology, and he really understand it. I think that some of the scenes are shot fantastically. You know, that scene where they're fighting after she is what's the little girl's name? I forget again. Sydney. I thought it was Sydney. I was gonna say. Yeah. I was thinking as soon as I said Sydney, I'm thinking Scream. I'm like, not Sydney Prescott.
Yeah. Prescott, no.
Sydney, no. After she gets knocked out. Oh my god! As soon as that happens to her, I'm like, how you like? I get you would have to be like, like, because they're just not expecting an invisible man. So, but I'm like, come on, man. She was laying down, like you just got hit by a man, not like a freaking 5-foot woman.
But she got hit by a man, so that, I mean, and across the jaw, like that disorients you. I don't know if you've ever been hit across the jaw.
Oh yeah.
But it disorients the fuck out of you, man.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I say, like, you know.
Dylan's like, hell yeah, I've been hit across the jaw. You think I've never run this mouth in public?
You know I have. Yeah, but that scene where they're fighting, I want to know, like, I gotta see some behind the scenes. Like, I wonder if they like had somebody really on top of her, just in like a blue suit or something. They just completely wipe it out to make it seem more realistic, like someone, like she's actually fighting somebody, or if she just did that, like if she's fighting, you know, by herself. I mean, I'm sure they might have even done a couple takes where it's like one where she's got one or two where she's got like a guy in a blue, all blue suit or green suit on top of her. Yeah, she's actually, you know, to make it seem more realistic than one without, where she just kind of does it. Because man, that's a good scene. I mean, dude, he like. There's that one spot where like he literally throws her across the room, and I'm like, "Come on!" I was like,
"Yeah, with them superpowers, man."
Yeah, I was like, "Now Invisible Man's got some superpowers, huh?"
He can does what he wants with a super suit.
It's the cameras, man. The cameras enhance his strength and agility and endurance. Obviously.
That's right. Duh.
But they're not. But it's not bulletproof.
Yeah, it should.
No, but yeah.
Totally be bulletproof.
There's I still feel like there's so many moments in this movie where a cop could have just shot a couple times and got him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's just I don't know.
Even out of fear. You got a gun and you're out of fear, and like something's like killing all these people, and it's clearly not her. And you're like, oh, well, I guess I should start shooting. I guess I need to start shooting everywhere.
I guess I should just stay right here for the stunt that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Robbie.
Yeah. Invisible Man ain't shit to Daredevil, by the way. Daredevil would have ended this in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. He would. I
can't see.
But before I forget, I'd say it's shot beautifully. I mean, from the get-go, like with the, you know, the water, the raising water, you know, the crashing waves and everything. Yeah, I think that they're really beautiful.
Stefan Duccio is the photographer there.
Is he?
Yeah, and Andy Canny is the editor, because the editing is really part of another reason why it's so effective. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The guy who did the music too, he worked on like the It movies and the recent ones. He worked on a few good movies, and
he did. That's the next segment, Dylan.
Yeah,
on, man.
Don't jump ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah. I think it did well. Like the last, you know, the ending still, it's not like perfect, which it's hard to wrap up, but it's shot beautifully. You know, I think its cinematography is outstanding.
I think the last 10 minutes would have been a great sequel spread out over an hour and a half and make this movie not 2 hours, but an hour and 45, I think would have been.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. But you don't want to make these movies with the idea that there's going to be a sequel, because that's usually a way to guarantee failure. Speaking of guaranteed failure, Jelani, what did you think about the directing in this film?
God,
thank you, dude. Wow. Hash. Oh, God.
I just take them as they come, you know? You hit one every once in a while.
Yeah, you're the best at segues. I love it.
I know, right? It's like,
man.
Put some sound on that burn and keep going.
Wow. But yeah, watch Upgrade. Upgrade, you kind of get a feeling of where he was going with this film, because it's kind of not the same way, but it's kind of similar in tone of what he's trying to accomplish. I like the pacing of it. It took me a while to get into it, but once I got into it, I knew what was happening. I do feel that the third act is kind of predictable though, because I was like, she's gonna do that. Oh yeah, this is totally happening. And then when it happens, you're like, oh yeah, it happened.
I thought the brother bait and switch was very predictable too.
Yeah,
I was like,
you kind of see that coming, because I'm like, it's too easy.
The moment that he comes at her with the whole you know, when she finds out that she's pregnant, unbeknownst to her, and
Yeah.
he gives her the contract and all that, you're like, he's 100% involved, and he's actually going to be, you know, wouldn't it be a surprise? Because I think they just put too many twists in these things.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And you
Well, in
see
the
it
original
coming.
story, didn't it end up like the guy who was killed in the end wasn't the real Invisible Man?
In the
It was like a
original
patsy.
novel, yes.
Yeah, original graphic novel.
Because the original novel by
Novel.
H.G. Wells. But
H.G.
because
Wells novel.
and it leaves the idea that he's still
Yeah, they
out
got
there.
my
And
joke.
what's scarier than some crazy invisible dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He needs to be the crazy invisible dude. And I really thought, you know, you might as well set it up for a sequel. It might as well get there. I mean, you have like this insane person, and I kind of wish they did sort of follow him somehow. I want to see him make that suit for some reason. Because there's so many questions. There's so many questions to it. I like how they did it with Elizabeth Moss. I like the perspective that they give.
Maybe they could do a
But
prequel.
I want to know how he made that suit. I want to know how he's driven to madness. Maybe he does need to take a drug or something for the suit to compensate for him or something. You know, I want to know. I want to know how he's
Well, it's
able
not
to
like
turn
he's trying to
people
take over the
around.
world or nothing. He's not that mad because that's what the original Claude Rains Invisible Man was
Right.
trying to do. He's because
Right.
these movies usually they're about them trying to find the cure, and while they're trying to find that cure, as Brooks said, they start slowly. Their
Losing
mind starts
madness.
degrading, right?
Right.
And the first one's very goofy because he's threatening, but it's so goofy, especially watching. And I love the 33 Invisible Man. I
Yeah.
love that film. Y'all know I love that film.
The bandages and the
And
eating.
see, that's
The
one thing I
eating
do
is one of
miss. The bandages with the glasses and the hat and the coat. That's iconic.
They
to
had a
me.
nod
Yeah.
to it in the hospital scene. You know, when the guy in the bandages
did.
gets rolled past.
Yeah.
I thought
was
that.
pretty
I thought
nice.
that.
Oh,
Pretty
I
good.
Yeah.
didn't even think about that.
That's true. I like the bandages, and then he unwraps them. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Lawrence.
One of my favorite things in the Claude Rains Invisible Man is that when he gets on the bike and runs around, he's just doing shit to fuck
Yeah.
with people, you know, just like, ooh, look, yes,
Spooky, isn't it?
spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you like the directing, you like the look, the pacing. You just,
It looks great, and
Yeah.
it's just the third act is kind of weak for me
I got you.
as well, but it predictable, but it's well done. I still say it's a well done film, and it's quite attractive. And if he does a sequel, I would watch it.
Wow.
Kind of situation. So yeah,
You said well done, which makes me think of a well done steak, which is dry, ineffective, boring, and plain. So that reminds me, Strickland, what do you think about the directing in this film?
Nice.
the segues are
Nice, man.
special.
I can't wait till mine.
Something about Super Mario. Yeah, I thought it was very strong. I think a lot of the scenes were just very chilling. You mentioned a lot of them: the kitchen scene, bathroom scene, the when she has to put the coffee grounds out and she's just sitting there with a knife, waiting.
When she calls the
all-
phone?
Yeah, that was creepy, man. Yeah, and I don't know, just very strong. Like for me, like I said in the beginning, very strong pacing first two halves, and then kind of slowed down at the end. But still think it's a strong movie. Highly recommend it.
You know, when she first calls that phone and she's like, oh, he's in the attic. I was expecting her to go up there and find George Bluth.
Playing Peter in the Woodpecker.
Play Peter, yeah.
Speaking of hiding out, what?
No, go ahead. Sorry, I just ruined your segue. No,
I was going to say, speaking of hiding out in the attic and taking pictures of your ball sack, Brooks, what do you think about the directing in this film?
I thought it was good. I like the way they used empty space for the Invisible Man, because it works. Oddly enough, like even though like it's just like when he's focusing on this space, it's just nothing. Like it's just a chair or it's just this corner of a room or something. He's like and it kind of in my mind at least, I kind of like filled in a blank, like see the Invisible Man like just standing over in this corner, like maybe doing something goofy, leaning up against this wall, kind of like staring at her or something like that. So
Being as
I like
quiet
that.
as possible.
Yeah.
Like he's just like He's just like doing this goofy dance the whole time.
I want to see the cut from the other side, and you get to see like an infrared version of him, and you get to see like he's like tiptoeing around and just like, oh, she almost walks into him, and he's like, oh,
Yeah. Almost got me.
super fun
Almost
stuff.
got me.
Let's take a look at the chat real quick before we get to the music segment, and then start wrapping this baby up as far as the review goes. Let's see. Two Gun says, "Don't mind the spoilers. It got me interested in watching it." Hell yeah. Epoch says the human chin is an off switch sometimes. Easy Reader says, like how Rick hit Phoenix person. Hell yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
Oh, some people haven't seen that.
Unstoppable says they shouldn't have shown her taking the suit because it made the ending predictable.
Yeah, but if they hadn't, then they would have been accused of lazy writing.
Yep.
That's true. And Jelani wants to know how he made the suit. Why?
Oh yeah, because I want to see how he puts that together. I want to see how you get a whole bunch of eyes and make a suit that creepy. I want to see that done. That's the only reason. It's pretty simple.
It probably can't be explained.
Yeah.
Like it just works. It just
like I created a technology.
Like
it bends light. Yeah. I want to know. Oh, listen. Invisible Man drank a potion he made, turned him invisible. That it's just simple like that. Like, hey, this guy's super creepy and controlling. Made a suit because he's in optics. You know, it's just simple things. You know, I want to know.
So Benjamin Wallfish was the composer of this film, and he's worked on films before, like It, which Dylan mentioned. He did Shazam. He did the most recent Hellboy movie. He did. I said Shazam, right?
Oh, it's a recent Hellboy movie.
He did Blade Runner 2049. He composed that music with Hans Zimmer. He actually did some.
Wasn't that bad.
He did a little bit of work on Hidden Figures, and he did a little bit of work on an Annabelle film, and 12 Years a Slave. He was a little. So he worked with Hans Zimmer, and you can tell that because he's got this very. He actually also worked a little bit on BVS with Zimmer. He's got a little bit of that Zimmer style where it's a little bit classic, like say a John Williams or Jerry Goldsmith or something, but it's got a very much of a digital presence as well, and it feels very much like a Zimmer, Christopher Nolan piece at times when it goes like, whoa, and it gets almost like dubsteppy.
It said he's working on the Mortal Kombat.
He's working on Mortal Kombat, which I think could be really cool. That could be really cool. So I love the music, and I think the music in this film helps elevate it up even further. A movie like this, you got to have great music. And to be honest, the last Invisible Man film from 1931, that one, well, that wasn't the last one, but the first one, that one has great music too. But this one just takes the cake. The music is so effective at creating that tone and that atmosphere and that suspenseful nature. And the music, as well as the performances and the way that the story is unfolding, takes it just from being a thriller to a true horror film in my eyes. What do you think about the music, Dylan? What do you think about the Dylan music?
Oh, man. I think the Dylan is real good. Sorry, as soon as I started talking. Yeah, it's one of the things that definitely stands out is the freaking music. It makes everything so eerie. It makes everything so tense at times. I mean, even when it's quiet, you know, I think they use the music right at the perfect times, like with the attic scene. I mean, you can talk about that one over and over again. Like, just, you know, I gotta just imagine seeing it in theaters. People would be jumping out of their seat, you know, from that scene, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. Music very effective.
Yeah, music is very, very good, and you can see from the guy's list that he has a good knowledge of how to, you know, do a score for a horror film. And I'm excited to see him do Mortal Kombat, definitely. But yeah, this might be, you know, from that list. I like Annabelle Creation. That's one of the really good ones. I like the It score. But this one might be his best score, honestly. It might be, you know, just the way everything's timed and everything. It's used really effectively.
Absolutely. Jelani, what do you think about the music?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, it did what it needed to do. It gave the suspense. It was very, it's timed, I could say. Like, it knows when it's going to scare me. It knew when it's gonna motivate me to do things. It motivated me to run, and especially in that hallway scene. Oh my god! It was terrifying because that's, to me. I mean, other than the paint, the attic, but the hallway scene. Even though y'all think it's like implausible for these people not to shoot, I think that's the best scene because it's like the music.
Those are the most non-shooting cops I've ever seen in a film, dude.
And they're just standing there holding the guns. I'm like, man, come on, pop some clips and show you me business at least once or twice. But yeah, it's haunting music as well. Yeah, and it follows you. It kind of follows you going throughout the film. So yeah, I liked it.
I love the mixture of like a classical orchestral type thing with a little bit of that digital feel to it.
Yeah.
Speaking of digital feel, Jay Strick, what'd you think about it?
He's gone.
It's interesting.
He disappeared.
He's the Invisible Man. What about you, Brooks?
I thought it was pretty good. It suited the atmosphere of the movie. Not really much else I can recall about it. I mean,
okay, you don't pay too much attention to music in film, do you?
No, not usually. But I usually consider that a good thing.
Yeah,
because a score shouldn't overwhelm a film. I don't think.
Oh, 100%. It's doing its job if you don't really notice it. The only reason why I really notice it is because, especially in horror films, I like to, in particular, pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And that's just because I like listening to horror movie music.
The good ones always kind of eventually creep into your brain just because, you associate them with things like Star Wars themes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like the Halloween one and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Okay. So we were talking about how Universal's wanted to do this dark universe, because the first cinematic universe is the Universal Monsters universe, right? Now, the Invisible Man never really fit in that, right? Mm-hmm. And in fact, most of that interconnectivity is actually from is usually most of that's from House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula. Those are kind of one-off movies, right? The only character that actually has an arc that you can actually follow is kind of the Wolfman. And it's kind of mostly the cinematic shared Universal horror universe is mostly Wolfman centric. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Dracula movies and the Mummy movies, especially Mummy's kind of its own thing. Invisible Man was always its own thing. And aside from the first couple sequels, the other ones don't have anything to do with the original. And they all kind of retcon things and this and that. So I think it would be cool to see a movie universe get built up to where we do eventually get a movie with a lot of them. But then, of course, I do remember Van Helsing. And I don't think we need to lead up to another Van Helsing.
They just do a Darkstalkers.
I thought you liked. Yeah, Darkstalkers.
A movie based on the Capcom game Darkstalkers.
Yeah,
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, Morgan.
Jelani, I do like Van Helsing, but I know it's a bad movie.
It's terrible.
That movie's terrible, man.
It's hot garbage, and it's got Kate Beckinsale in it.
Yeah,
it's garbage.
And it's the problem Universal's had is Universal keeps trying to make these big budget movies. Like they had success with the
movie.
Yeah, it worked.
Horror film.
That worked with the Mummy. But the Brendan Fraser one, not the Tom
Brendan
Cruise
Fraser one, right?
But it doesn't work for Dracula and Frankenstein and the Wolfman.
It's not goofy, yeah.
So, what this is going to do is it's going to let them know because they already just want to be well, let's just focus on making individual movies. Well, it seems like that's the hard lesson that a lot of people have had to learn since the success of Marvel Studios. They did it because they made an Iron Man movie.
Yeah,
they made a Hulk movie.
That's it.
They made a Captain America movie. Then they started building it up, and then they were able to pull off the Avengers. DC and Universal and other places, they just try to jump right into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't do that. Universal tried to jump right into it with Van Helsing. Didn't work. They tried to jump right into it with Dracula Untold. Didn't work. Yep. They tried to jump right into it with the Mummy. Didn't work. So they said, well, let's step back. Let's do the Invisible Man and just make it its own thing. All of a sudden, they have a success. DC did that. All of a sudden, Wonder Woman's a success. Oh, wow, because we didn't try to force it into something. Right. Shazam, Aquaman, better responses than the movies that came before. So I think that you have to do this. Now, I don't think that they need to lead this into a shared universe, right? But it definitely lets them know lower budget, but you can't have too low of a budget for a Frankenstein or a Wolfman film. One thing that I am fearful of is that some of those other stories can't be modernized quite as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the way that they told the Invisible Man story was very effective, but how do you? I think you could pull that off with the Wolfman, but then you start hearing some of the Wolfman rumors, and I think it's way too early in the process to even have many rumors slip out. You know, but you start hearing some of the things about it's going to be technological and science based and this and that.
Let's not do
And then
that.
I'm like, and I honestly don't know how Frankenstein would work being a modern movie. Remember I Frankenstein? It just didn't seem to work. You know, I just don't. I don't
so
think.
bad.
I like, to me that's so set in that. I think just,
Frankenstein should
if you
be
want to do a shared universe, I'm rambling. I know. If you want to do a shared universe of these characters, I personally, as a fan of the old ones, would like to see it placed in that time era, in Eastern Europe. You know, in that it doesn't really quite fit. Sometimes it seems like they're in London. Sometimes it seems like they're in Holland or Germany or something. You know, there's like this weird amalgam of European cultures. I guess that's the like 1930s and 40s idea of Europe. You know, the American idea of Europe. But I think that, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if the other ones, when they start doing them, like, you know, the Ryan Gosling Wolfman movie is going to be set in the modern day, right? They already did the Wolfman reboot set in the previous era, and I liked it. I love that Wolfman movie.
Okay.
I think it was dumb making the dad a bad guy. But
Benicio del Toro one.
Yeah, that one.
But for the most part, I do like that movie. But I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to get at is, what do you think about the future of this dark universe, and how would you like to see it unfold post Invisible Man success, Dylan?
The whole universe. You said a lot of things that I would definitely like to see. Big thing is I gotta see the Wolfman done right. I want it to be actually scary. Now I don't want it to be like action or anything like The Mummy with Tom Cruise. Not like Brendan Fraser, because that one I actually do like. I just want it to be done by fans. You know, I want it to be done correct and not. I don't know, man. I don't want it to just be like a cash grab. I definitely want us to finally get a good Wolfman. Because, I mean, I enjoy watching the Benicio del Toro one, but I know it's not that good. You know, like, it could be a lot better, and there was a lot of problems getting it made. And if you watch behind the scenes with Rick Baker, he was like, you know, like a Boy Scout. He's like, oh, my God, this is what I dreamed of, working on the original Wolfman, the remake, you know. But he always says, he's like, the people that were working on this, he's like, you could tell they didn't care. He's like, this was just like another movie. They didn't have, they just would listen to the studios and not do what was right. I don't know. You got to watch Rick Baker talk about it. He really kind of sensed that they weren't really enjoying what they were doing, and it wasn't a passion project like it was for him. I'm interested to see what Jordan Peele has to do with it. I don't know if you heard, he said he wanted to do something with the Universal stuff with Will Smith. So I've been like racking my brain on what the heck that could even be.
It's an evil genie movie.
But yeah,
I'm the genie from the lamp. I can sing, rap, dance.
You know, Wolfman is my favorite. So, oh, no worries though, bro.
Yeah, he's mine too.
Wolfman has always been my favorite. I'm wondering, like, what the heck is Ryan Gosling gonna do? Like, how well is he gonna do? It's I feel like it's definitely gonna be some different approach from what I've heard. Like, he's gonna be a newscaster or a news anchor. Because at first I'm like,
gonna make it to Howling.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like,
somebody called D. Wallace.
Yeah, yep. There we go. That's exactly what I thought. I was like mixing in a little bit of the Howling in there. But besides, I mean, I like that they're going with the Wolfman next. I just hope. I don't know if they've said anything about a director. I just hope that everything is taken care of. You know, like I'm nervous for it, but there's a lot that I want to see. I want to see a Dracula film done right. It's been a long time since we've seen a good Dracula movie, you know, done right.
Yeah, I didn't like Untold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Francis Ford Coppola did it right, man.
yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
care what
Kinda.
nobody. I love that movie, man.
Frank-
I love
I mean,
that
I'm
movie.
not saying anything negative about the movie. It's the most faithful adaptation as far as the
Yeah.
movies go.
And the
But
music. Oh,
yeah, the music's great, but it gets a bit overwrought, I think, at times. But that's just me. But Gary Oldman's take on the characters made that gets too love story. There's this sense of this imagined love story between Mina and Dracula, and I that comes from literally fucking nowhere. You know, that's
Nowhere.
not in the
It's
book.
true.
Like
It's
Dracula is a repulsive character, and they nailed that at the beginning of the film, and then. I get that Bela made the character suave, and that's now ingrained into the character. But at no point was Mina ever like. I mean, it was like a hypnotic spell type thing. Like Lucy was the one that had more of an erotic fascination with Dracula.
Yeah.
But you know,
and do not watch the BBC version of Dracula, by the way.
I hear the first 2 episodes are good. I just hear it when
The
it gets to
third
modern
episode
time.
ruins it.
Oh, the third one does.
The third one is awful. The first 2 are good. The ship, the ship, that's fantastic. You can modern times.
You know what I really want though? I want a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie. I want that's my favorite. Besides like the Wolfman, he's my favorite.
They've never done that. They've never done remakes. There have been movies that have used characters similar to the Gill Man, but they've never actually done one.
Yeah.
I think he's got the best like he's the one who actually has like a trilogy from the old day stuff.
He does. He turns human at the end of it and walks into the sea. Yeah. I love Gill Man. You're right.
I love Gill Man too.
The hands. The everything.
I love that.
Yeah, it was the first Universal Monsters movie I ever watched.
Jelani, is that what you want to see going forward out of the Dark Universe? You want to see the Creature movie? And
I would love a Creature from the Black Lagoon. Of course, I'd love a Wolfman. I'd love to see Frankenstein again, but they'd mess it up. I've seen The Bride with Sting, and I kind of like that movie.
I kind of like that movie.
I like that movie. But I want to see a Dracula done well as well. The Universal monsters are so iconic. Like, as a kid, I loved watching those movies. I had all the storybooks that gave like an adaptation of those things with the pictures from the books. I check them out from the library, and I bought them. And I don't know where they are now, but oh my gosh, like I loved all of it. I was like, oh my goodness. And I wish some of these characters would come together. So I was kind of excited for the Dark Universe, but your problem with the Dark Universe is you gave Tom Cruise all the control and messed it up. And you don't let him have creative control of your movie. Just let people who love the material work on a film together. That's all I want out of the majority of films in that. They don't do any of that.
You put Tom Cruise in charge of it, and all of a sudden the budget goes up $100 million because he wants to actually be mummified and buried in a great pyramid. You know, and
they had Dr. Jekyll and Hyde in that, man. They were
going ham.
That's one I would enjoy to see.
I think that's a good one.
Really been done, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That could be good.
I think that's a good one for Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Yes. Because he likes working on the dichotomy of society, right?
Yeah,
I think about Get Out and Us. Both of those are about dichotomies.
Yes.
And that could be really good.
I could see Will Smith doing that, like going nuts, you know.
See, Will Smith's the problem. Don't let Will Smith do it because we don't need star power. The moment you put Will Smith in it, you got to get everybody to watch it.
He's the one
all you see is Will Smith.
I don't need him in it. I don't need him in.
I'm almost out of Will Smith because of Gemini Man. Gemini Man, pretty much, I was like,
that had such potential too. Like that's a cool concept for a story.
Oh yeah.
And you just walked all over it, and it's just like you make this bland story, but the cameras are so good. You gotta watch it for the real technology.
That's $15. That's $15 I can't get back.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Tell me a story. I don't care about your politics. I don't care about your feelings. Just tell me the beginning, middle, and end of a story, and I will like it. And don't put all your mess in it, and don't have one person create the entire vision if they don't know what they're talking about.
I've seen that movie
You know,
Gemini so many times, like just without the younger version of himself killing him, trying to kill him. That's the only difference.
And then they had one in the basement they were using as a secret, Gemini man. Ugh.
Anyway, Jay Strick, what would you like to see from the future of the Dark Universe?
Yeah, this is kind of twofold for me because it's like I think about like you think about the Marvel movies and we all love them and what they're just iconic and what they did for the industry in the sense of like they brought 21 movies together for Endgame?
Gosh,
something like that. Something like that. They brought a lot of movies together. I think the movie industry has kind of suffered that's a bit awesome, but I think the movie industry suffered from that because like everyone's trying to recapture that magic, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't think you have to do a shared universe with these movies, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I think they can all be standalone. I think they can you look at so many directors who do just standalone movies and I just think about Chris Nolan, just all these epic movies he's done. And I'm not saying you make it like that. I'm just saying that you can capture that kind of imagination and magic in a solo movie. So that's what I'd like to see done with these movies for real.
Yeah, I think focusing on the solo idea is cool. And then, for instance, if you do a very good Frankenstein movie, you do a good Wolfman movie, I would not be against the idea of doing a Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. But
you got to go down the line.
There's too much expectation at times of crossovers. And look at Freddy versus Jason. Like it seems like a lot of people like that movie, and a lot of people don't like it. AVP, that's a good example too.
Yeah. AVP is a good example. Yeah,
that's an excellent. Yeah,
I like AVP though.
Brooks, what would you like to see as far as Universal and these properties going forward?
Well, I just hope they do, focus on the individual characters and give each one their own movie, and not try to, try too hard to shove the whole shared universe thing in there. And especially with characters like Dracula and Frankenstein, you can actually have those movies set in the Victorian area, when they were set. Sure. Those characters would still be alive in the modern day.
Captain America,
do an origin story, like Captain America goes back to World War II, something like that. The origin, they came about in this period, and then but they're still around here in the modern day. How would they work in the modern day?
Yeah,
for sure.
That's a good idea. I like
that. Kind of bringing them together in a modern day setting would make more sense.
Yeah, because a giant portal opens up above London, and these aliens come out, so they all have to band together and become the Monster Squad.
All the monsters have to come together.
We gotta watch that one.
Why is Monster Squad the best example of what this could be?
It could have been. Yeah, Monster Squad is the best. That's the best.
I've never seen that movie. I've heard so much about
it. Oh, we're gonna have to cover that one soon.
Yeah, we gotta watch that one.
Oh yeah.
Where the Monster Squad?
And you know what? I found out this week Strickland's never seen Buckaroo Banzai, y'all.
Oh wow, Strickland, you're in for a treat, dude. You're in for a real treat. Oh.
He showed me the trailer.
Peter Weller is better in this movie than he is in RoboCop.
You can't get Buckaroo Banzai until you experience it, man.
You have to experience Buckaroo Banzai.
I'm literally. It's you don't even really get it until you're the middle of your third time watching it, and you're like, I get it.
You're like, I get it.
I understand this movie now, and I think it's one of the best films ever.
I was there.
Man.
So let's get to the rating. So out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give The Invisible Man, Dylan?
Out of 5.
He just got so serious.
This is a serious time. Man.
It is.
I almost want to see it. I don't want to be like Jelani and ruin.
Wow.
Everyone's going to be
like, nobody ruins anything. Nobody ruins anything.
I didn't ruin anything.
No,
only
last week.
I still stand beside my thing.
That's fine.
Right.
That's fine.
Still stand behind it.
The only rule, Dylan, just be honest. Be honest, man. That's what we want.
Scared. Yeah. That's it.
All right. Well, because the ending was not perfect. Otherwise, I'd say it was a pretty damn perfect film. I give it 4.5.
4.5.
Respectable.
That's a very high. That means you really like it. You know,
Yeah,
not
I liked it
perfect.
a lot better on my second.
Gotcha. What about you, Jelani?
As far as this goes, I'm going to. I'll give it a 3.5.
3.5.
It's good. It's got its moments where it's kind of slow. The third act kind of drags it. I'll watch it again. I can watch it again. I need other people with me to watch it so I can gain their reactions, like I said before. But the score is great. It's just something about it. Like I said, the very beginning, as a first time watching it, maybe I do need to watch it again. But the pacing of the very beginning kind of throws me off. That I don't know what it is about it, but it's something that took me out of it for a moment. And the predictability of certain scenes, it's a little too predictable. Like I knew when things were coming. I know she's not crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it gives me that. I know I want that fear, but it didn't give me the fear I wanted it to be, because I love the best horror movies to me, or the horror movie that is unexpected. You don't see the evil. You don't know anything until it's, at the end when it comes at you. You know what I'm saying? You finally see what the bad is. This movie kind of like, you kind of knew it was coming. And it's just like, oh, there's an Invisible Man. The title's Invisible Man. And she's like, oh God, what is this? What is this? But you know what it is. So that's why I gave it that.
I got you. Okay. Jay Strick, what about you? Out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give The Invisible Man from 2020?
This movie is a solid 4 you digs.
Yeah.
4 you digs.
I honestly might have went to 4. I was like really trying to think on it. It's like a 4.5 for me. Like 4, I think is fair.
Okay.
Sure. You don't have to backtrack. You can stick to your 4.5.
No, I was thinking that anyways. I was thinking it. I like the whole time Jelani was talking, I was thinking about it. But I'm gonna stick to 4.5. But I was just thinking, like, I agree with you, Jay Strick.
Because I think I might need to watch it. I think I might want to watch it again to kind of see. I think Robbie said it, to see where he was early on, if he was even there. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't really watching for that. So I think it might be better. I think it might be better on a second rewatch. But I thought it was a solid 4. I think you should definitely watch this movie. You're a fan of the genre. Elizabeth Moss is awesome. A lot of great scenes. It's a good movie, man, for sure.
Hell yeah. What about you, Brooks?
I give it 4. I'm not much into horror movies as much. I still enjoy them, but not, I'm not a big horror guy. But this is the kind of horror movie that I really like. One that's, more about, an idea that's unsettling or disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it gets its point across really well, and it makes it very scary and suspenseful. So I enjoyed watching it. At the same time, while still being, a tad uncomfortable, but, in a good way, sort of, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm right there along with Strick and Brooks. I'm giving it a 4. I think it's a pretty solid film. It was way better than I anticipated it being. I like the adaptation of that story from like 1897 or whatever and into the modern day. And it's different, but it's different in a way that makes it appealing and understanding and relatable enough to a modern audience. I think it gets to touch on some issues, especially like women going through abusive relationships, trying to escape that, but not having the people around them be able to believe them, and things like that. And I think it really deals with that in a very cool, nuanced way. And it's not just, even though Elizabeth Moss spends most of this movie losing her mind, she doesn't go crazy. She finds agency slowly as the movie progresses. Her character has steady growth. I like the way that they did it. And I think the suit looks kind of creepy. There's some moments I have, it's got a fattened third act that I think could be streamlined a little bit. Maybe it's got one too many twists in it, like this movie needed any twists. It didn't really need them.
Right.
So it's got some really powerful moments. And just at the end, I feel like it just runs a little long. And I think that's a problem with a lot of movies today. So Dylan did 4.5, Jelani did 3.5, and then the three of us did 4.
Hey,
Which
can you count?
Gives it
No, we don't do math here.
It gives it an average of 4 you digs, which means me, Brooks, and Jay Strick were right. So
Suck it, losers.
Totally.
Yo, Adrian!
Herminio throws his rating
Herminio agrees.
3.5 for Herminio.
I said I agreed too with the 4, but wait, I gave it because sometimes movies are only like you can only watch it once, man. It has a good rewatchability.
Yeah, I'd watch this movie
That's
again.
why I'll
watch it again.
It's got a good because you'll actually pick up more stuff that you might have missed. You know, like some of you like, is he lurking on her and all this. So it's got a good rewatchability.
Let's take a look at the chat. Unstoppable Cockblocka says, "I love the recent Hellboy film." Well,
yeah, I enjoyed it too.
Well, we still respect you, and
we respect you. Yeah.
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 Me, Brooks, and Jelani did not dig on it too much.
We did not dig that movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
Even Brooks was like, eh.
Should I even try to watch it?
Too much stuff.
I like Hopper though, but
I do too.
The ending is badass. Like when he gets the horns and everything, that was cool. But I know it's not.
They smashed all those stories together. It just
He also says Annabelle Creation was a great horror flick, but the last Annabelle film was garbage. I've never seen any of those.
Me
neither.
I've only seen the first Conjuring. I've only seen the first Conjuring. Actually.
Is that like a living doll thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Annabelle is. And
it's a creepy ass doll. She's in The Conjuring.
Yeah, the doll is in The Conjuring, and then it spins out into its own thing.
Yeah.
He also says Van Helsing is a cult classic. I would say that I would count that as a cult classic now. Herminio likes it.
Me too.
I mean, so do I.
I don't like Van Helsing.
Not that good.
How dare you?
When it first came out, I really enjoyed it. I love that stuff though.
Vampire babies, y'all. Vampire babies, y'all.
Epoch says Penny Dreadful seemed to have an interesting take. I haven't seen that, but I've heard so many good things about it.
Dreadful.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best interpretation of the Universal horror movie monsters together.
And it's got Cowlick Hartnett in it, right?
Yeah, he's a werewolf. He's the Wolfman.
Yeah, from H2O.
Mike is in the house. Modern Frankenstein would be almost Hellboy-ish. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. But if
they did Frankenstein.
Hey, well, Mike Mignola is writing a Frankenstein comic right now.
It's good.
I wish I had picked it up.
Dylan, can I do my show?
No.
Herminio says, is it possible to make them good these days when everyone is impatient and they want the action ASAP and won't let the story be told? It is possible to do it, Herminio, in my opinion. It's just you got to realize that you're not making these movies for the Fast and Furious audience. You're making these movies for horror fans.
Yeah, I think that trend is probably going to turn eventually. People are going to go back to wanting, more character-driven movies and less, mindless action stuff.
You trying to say Fast and Furious is not character-driven?
It's about family.
I've only seen the first one, so I don't know. It might be.
One last ride. Let's do this. Son of a bitch.
Easy Reader, when we were talking about the Creature from the Black Lagoon not being ever kind of remade, he says, wasn't that The Shape of Water? Well, that's what we were saying. They put characters like that, like the Gilman
story
in movies, but they haven't actually remade Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right. Yeah. Never.
But I'm worried that they redid it now. They did it now. Creature from the Black Lagoon would be all CG.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Somehow they
I'll tell you. In
that's
Creature
one
from the Black Lagoon, he ain't screwing the white lady.
That's one of the best monsters of all time.
Oh my God. That scared me as a kid. As a kid, man. Sorry. This is free.
You're fine. It's great music, though, yeah. Blade Trinity has the most accurate representation of Dracula. Bullshit.
And that Dominic Purcell?
The most accurate adaptation of Dracula is definitely Dracula 3000.
That's 3000 or 2000?
2000?
They did do it.
Okay.
Horrible. They did two.
I never saw 3000. I'm talking about 2000. I only
That's the
saw
one with
2
Gerard
guys.
Butler. Gerard Butler is Dracula.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Mike says The Mummy was okay. It was Suicide Squad with Tom Cruise.
Never saw
Yeah.
it.
Which Stoppel says, right, Mike, it was a bad film, yet wasn't memorable.
Watch it.
Forgot about Russell Crowe's Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah.
Have you read the Buckaroo Banzai comic book? No, I have not, because my shop's never had complete I've never been able to get it complete. And I'm kind of nervous because usually when they take a property I love that wanted more of, and they give me more, it usually doesn't live up to my expectations. But
How old is it?
Yeah, I could never get into like the Rick and Morty comics, but I love the TV show.
It's
I don't
amazing.
know.
Look, y'all, that season finale. Oh my god.
What's
Oh,
the
dude, yeah.
finale?
So that does
Rick
it
and
for
Morty.
We'll talk
That
about
does
it.
They stopped for like
Yo.
months, man. And
I'll
that was
just
good.
a second, y'all. Just a second. That does it for the Invisible Man review. We're done with that now. Now we're just doing a typical live stream, just chilling with the fellas, and we're doing a little bit of show and tell. Chris says, when are they going to remake Blackula? Maybe that's what Jordan Peele and Will Smith are working on.
That's what
Oh,
I
that
was
would work.
thinking.
We're doing a
Black
American
Will
Empire in Brooklyn.
Smith.
A creature film would be like Anaconda. No, Anaconda was kind of like the original creature film.
J-Lo.
J-Lo and Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
I
no-
hope that Rick and Morty though was good because they just stopped like halfway through, like, and didn't tell us when those episodes were gonna come out. I didn't even know it ended. That
The
season,
last
that's the
four?
worst season though. The first half's only like 2 episodes were good out of those 5. Out of those first 5.
Fuck off. Are you serious, man? I loved every single episode.
Every episode of Rick and Morty has gotten better.
Yeah, I think they're pretty
This
strong.
has been the weakest season. The first half, bro. Even my
Wow.
brothers were saying it was the weakest. I have not seen the second half yet. It could have got better, but those first 3 episodes, they're like, "Oh my god, you've been waiting. We waited like 3 fucking years for those, man." And they're like, "This is everything you've been waiting for." And that shit was not as funny. They totally like cleaned it up because now it's getting more mainstream.
You think they cleaned it up,
Yeah.
dude?
I think
It's
the
gotten
opposite.
worse.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You
Oh,
think they
The
cleaned it up?
last 2
Dylan, we love you. You gotta get your head out of your ass, buddy. I'm telling you, man. They
dude.
directly
I'm talking
go
about
after
the first
taboo
3
subjects
episodes.
in this one. And I'm going to tell you this: the man and the seat, the toilet episode,
Toilet
That's-
episode.
one of the most poignant
That's probably
episodes.
episode 4 or 5. That's one of the good ones I'm talking about. The first 3 sucked.
So the heist. You're saying the heist one sucks.
You're saying the
one was
heist
I don't know.
You son of a bitch! Don't say that. Don't break my
Okay.
heart.
Oh, wait, is it the one where they're like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in"?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
I'm going to tell you this, Dylan. I know you haven't seen the second half, but the episode about the vat of acid is one of the best episodes of Rick and Morty.
I love
is.
Rick and Morty. I was just
It really is.
disappointed watching
It's the
some of those
whole bit.
episodes.
It's a
I
whole-
love Rick and Morty, man, but I was disappointed watching some of those episodes. And then when I got cut off for like months, like halfway through, it's like I waited like 2.5 years for this season, and then they just cut it off halfway through.
It's
they're
a hard-
doing 70. They're doing 70 episodes. They're gonna have 70 episodes over like
10
a few
years.
years, or like 10 years.
Rick and Morty
So-
forever.
Rick and Morty forever.
16
I love
in a movie.
They have another show now on like Hulu or something. They
Yeah.
have another show, and the guy who voices Rick is in it. So
Justin Roiland, Solar
Yeah.
Opposite.
So
They're gonna
it's,
take
it's
even
pretty
longer.
good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dylan,
Yeah, check it out.
shortest tenure as a member of the Excitable PCP crew. 1 week.
now I gotta watch the
Shit about
second
Rick
half
and
of
Morty season
Rick
4.
and Morty.
Yeah.
It's
You
not.
can, dude. You can.
I have to rewatch. I have to watch the second half, but those
The
You can
toilet
watch.
Yeah, the toilet episodes is episode 2, man. So that's one of the ones you said sucks. That's
Yeah,
like
'cause we watched, I remember you, me, and Jelani watched that one together.
Yeah.
It was like early. It must have been
I'm
early.
telling you,
season.
I was
Yeah.
disappointed. It wasn't what I expected, and I love every episode of Rick and Morty, and I was disappointed with a
Rick and
couple.
Morty
Of
should never be what you expect.
Ever. The story, the story train was kind
Oh,
of
gosh.
for me, but I love it.
No.
I started to love it as I watched it
The
over
more
again.
you watch it, the better it gets.
The better it gets, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
I-
wow.
I thought that
You know,
face,
and
the
I do
face
feel
sucker
like
ones was good too.
the face sucker was good. It's
Yeah.
kind of gross.
It is so weird that scene
The
with him and
ABCs of
Morty.
Beth. The ABCs of Beth is to me is the grossest episode I've ever watched because that's the
Was that
one.
the
where
last
they're-
one?
That's the one where no. the season finale is different. I think it's a Star Wars themed one.
Yeah.
But it's called Star Wars, but it's the ABC's of Beth is like the penultimate episode of the last season.
Oh yeah.
And that's the one where she leaves the guy in the fantasy world that Rick made.
Yeah.
And like he screws all the things and eats them. And I'm like, oh, that's the grossest thing I've ever seen. That made I can't stand that episode, but it's important. It's an important episode.
The best stuff about that episode too was the toilet seat stuff. So
yeah, but it's
see,
awesome.
look, there you go. You just agree. So other than the toilet seat stuff, it's freaking not that good.
I like the toilet episode because it's like Rick has a friend, but he doesn't know he has a friend, and he's like crap to that friend the entire time because the guy's using the toilet. And he makes all that stuff because the guy dies, and then he makes the toilet seat like trap.
Just because I didn't like a couple episodes doesn't mean I still love Rick and Morty.
We're not gonna step all over you for that, Dylan. There's no reason. Oh man, you like what you like.
Robbie's gonna be like, screw you. You're on
PCP. You like what
dude,
you like.
you can watch those last 4 in like an hour and a half. They're not very long.
They're not
long.
I'll have to rewatch them.
I'm sorry. I keep going back to that season finale. The season finale is the best culmination of serialized Rick and Morty that they've ever done. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with that last one.
I gotta watch that second half, man.
Yeah, that second half is clean. There are a lot of the Vat of Acid might be my favorite next to the season finale.
Every time I was looking it up, like for months, like after they just stopped randomly, and I was like, they didn't tell anybody, and they didn't say when they were gonna air the second half. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, they were trying to do it, but then all the craziness happened, and they were gonna release it like a month. Or I'm sorry, it was gonna be a month and a half after Christmas because it was a Christmas episode. The Snake Jazz, that was supposed to be. Yeah, they were supposed to release it back in like March, or it was the end of February. But then all the craziness happened, and they were like, no. So
Strickland, weird.
Strickland. That was
dark.
That was. Ugh. I hate that.
I've gotten some of the comics. There were some Dungeons and Dragons ones that were pretty good, but
that's when they get
ones are okay.
Yeah.
Some of the early Oni ones though go for big bucks.
Yeah.
The first one in particular, man.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the news of DC dropping Diamond?
Dude, what are you doing?
Yay!
They
might as well. Who cares? Because Diamond stopped production, and that's like their livelihood.
Diamond stopped production.
They did,
they stopped production
with the pandemic. They're back.
They came back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but
for a while they stopped it all.
Well, I got some. If you guys want a little bit of inside information, I know a little bit. First of all, DC's contract with Diamond was set to end this year already.
Oh, okay.
That was going to end even with COVID or not, right? DC has been trying to figure out a way to reformat because they view the sign. Okay, so comic books are alive and well; they're healthy. Okay, we're not trying to hit the death horn of comic books, right? But the industry doesn't thrive quite like a lot of people think they should, right? And DC is like, we're doing what we can, right? The publishers seem to be trying to do what they can. The retailers seem to be doing what they can. Well, maybe Diamond's to blame. Maybe it's some of Diamond's practices. Maybe it's the way that they line something up and this and that. So they were already on the way probably out. And then the COVID-19 thing happened, and then the Diamond shut down. And DC didn't like that. And rumors are that some people at DC were basically saying that they're keeping our books hostage, because that was Diamond's decision to shut down, right? And meanwhile,
there's no alternative to get the books out too.
Well, meanwhile, the very next week was supposed to see the release of Batman 92, which is the first full-on punchline where she's spotlighted fully.
Yeah, and cover appearance.
Yeah, right. And so they're like, you're messing with our projections, with our numbers, and this and that. And so there's that, right? So they were already unhappy with Diamond, trying to explore other ways. They already work with Midtown because Midtown fulfills all their direct subscriptions. If you subscribe to a book from DC directly, you get it from Midtown. What pisses off comic book retailers, and is pissing off a lot of them, is that so now you have to go through these two different distributors in order to get periodical comics from DC. Yep. And they are UCS and Lunar. And those are actually Midtown and DCBS, which are the biggest online comic book retailers, right? So that's kind of like telling Target that they got to buy their product from Walmart.
Wow.
Just a little bit. It's kind of actually, it's more like telling a local hardware store that you have to order your product from a Target or a Walmart.
Yeah.
And how fair is that?
I haven't gotten DC books the last 2 weeks for my shop. They haven't been getting them in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've been having a schedule problem right there. And then once Diamond came back and DC and Diamond were allegedly going to work together, they were working on the deal to still do it, right? And what happened was that DC sent a proposal and the Diamond sent a counter proposal back, and they said, well, on June 5th, they said, we'll give you an answer. And what they did was they sent them a letter of termination. So they didn't just like leave, like they just didn't renew their contract. So that ends 25 years of Diamond being the sole distributor of periodical comics to the direct market. Now they don't get considered an actual monopoly because there are other places that sell comics, but not through the direct market. You get what I'm saying?
Not as large as Diamond is.
Exactly. So it is kind of like a monopoly, but at the same time now, most shops are now going to have to get less of a discount probably, and definitely their shipping costs are going to probably double for like most people, right? Mm-hmm. And not only are you, because Midtown and DCBS are charging more for shipping than Diamond does.
I believe that.
And now you're having to pay to ship Diamond, and you're having to pay to ship somebody else. And a lot of comic shops, a lot of comic shops are not going to carry DC from this point forward. Some shops have already put all their DC floppies at $1 each, and they're just trying to get rid of everything. And a lot of retailers see it as a move of DC saying, we don't care about the direct market, right? And on the other hand,
I don't know about that, man.
On the other hand, customers that read DC Comics don't give a shit where you get them from. They just want to have them on the shelves. They want to have them in their subscription boxes on Wednesday, now on Tuesday. DC also tried to get everybody to jump onto the Tuesday release train. Nobody jumped. But they're still sticking with Tuesday. So DC Comics are actually available on Tuesday. Well, that's because that's when all other media comes out.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of what that's kind of the sides of the thing, and a little bit more of the backstory about how that relationship crumbled. People have been clamoring. It's easy. I see it here on YouTube all the time. People clamoring, Diamond's a monopoly. It should be taken down. Then this happens and everybody's like, whoa, how dare they? But I do understand I am not cool with the idea that the new distribution companies are comic shops. I think that's pretty shitty. It's like telling the sporting goods store that your uncle owns, that's like been in the family for like 25 years, that they got to get their stuff from Walmart. You got to buy your basketballs and your hockey pads and everything from Walmart. And that means a distributor, or like the production company, right? Then you have a distributor who's also a retailer, and then another retailer. So price, you get what you understand how the price that
pay for different places all over. Yeah,
exactly. So it seems a bit of a conflict of interest, I think, but I also understand that comic book customers and people that read DC Comics, they don't give a shit where you get your Batman 92s from. They just want them on the shelves.
In my box.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot of these shops that are saying, well, we're going to refuse to carry DC, think they're going to lose some business. And let's not forget, Diamond's losing about a 20 to 30% chunk of their business now.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yep.
I think DC will make her. I think DC will make it right, man. I don't know how. I don't know the plan. I just think you got to think those are the big two, right? Marvel, DC. Yeah. They just don't. They're not going to go on this whim and be like, "Oh, we don't know what we're doing." Like I feel like there is a plan. Like you look at the bigwigs over there; they got solid people in charge. You know what I'm saying? I think
Do
they'll
they, though?
figure it out.
Because they
It's
just
still
recently got
Warner Brothers owns DC.
Yeah, they
and
just
don't
true.
care about
they
it.
just got rid of Dan DiDio because new management came in right at the time Batman Dan came out, and they started like tearing through
Yep.
and firing people and letting
They're
people, veterans in that company, go.
Yep.
And can you imagine how happy Dan DiDio is? That he's like, I avoided all of this shit.
Yep.
You know,
But
that was the
aren't
perfect time.
Are
But you
John,
fire him. That's
Jeff
AT&T,
Johns
isn't
and
it?
like Jim Lee's like
Yeah.
bigwigs over there?
Jeff Johns is
Well,
not a
Jim Lee's
bigwig
still
anymore there.
Okay.
He's
Jim
not.
Lee is the bigwig now, but he's
purely a face.
I mean this in the most sincere way possible,
And I love
because I
Jim Lee.
really like Jim Lee and I respect
Jim
him, but he is, let's just not forget that he was the first sellout at Image, okay? He was the first one who was like, nah, I'm just going to sell my stuff to DC.
To be fair, he's probably the most sought after too.
I get
Yeah,
well,
true.
McFarlane.
He's the Babe Ruth.
I'd say Lee would probably be a little more sought after than
You think so?
McFarlane. Yeah.
You
I
think so?
Yeah, Jim Lee is. Yeah,
Lee
Is that
like-
is that why
Lee-
Wildcats is still going like Spawn is?
Well, how long
Are you
did they
defending
draw
Todd?
Wildcats?
you're defending
Yes.
the Todd.
Todd and Eric are the only ones that stay true to the original vision of Image.
That's
I'm
true.
not saying anything bad about Jim Lee. I like Jim Lee. He's my favorite out of all those early Image guys, right?
Right.
I'm not trying to call him a sellout in a bad way. I'm just meaning like he was the first, he's more likely going to tote the company line. Do you get what I'm saying? And just be a face. Like Jim Lee could be their Stanley for this new generation, you know?
Absolutely.
And he's an artist and he is a corporate guy, but let us not forget. And he's more desirable and people are, I mean, I get that, but you don't think that if Todd McFarlane would be willing to come back and do something with Batman or Spider-Man, that Marvel wouldn't be all over that?
I'll be all over that.
Oh yeah,
I'll be all over
100%.
that.
So
Yep.
do you think they're just DC's just swimming in bloody waters, or you think they're going to figure it out?
I think DC cares about the direct market a little bit, but I think mostly DC right now is caring about trying to boost up their own presence. They're making a lot of money through Penguin House distribution by selling those all ages and young readers, young adult graphic novels, things like The Lost Carnival, right?
Yeah.
Those things sell like mad at Barnes and Nobles and at Books A Million and other bookstores and Amazon. They sell like crazy there. Diamond doesn't distribute those to them. Yeah, they sell like crazy. That's why they keep making them. A lot of people complain about them. Oh, Gotham High seems like it's silly and it's melodramatic and it's very teenage. Yeah, but teenagers are actually going into those bookstores and buying those. Like
There's
they're
a lot of
actually
good ones
reading
too,
them.
though. There's
Yeah,
the
there
Green
are.
Lantern, the Green Lantern one. Did you read
Dude,
that one?
We look at the comic book industry. I haven't yet. Legacy. But you look at the comic book industry and the biggest sellers right now, like the books that make the most money and sell the most and see the most wide audience are things that you never heard of. They're things like Dogman. They're all ages books. They're young adult graphic novels. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're kind of like, I mean, that's exactly what that is they're seeing different ways, and they're also seeing success with the digital market. Now, a lot of people say that maybe this is an excuse or a way to lead it all to digital. And I know people that think that this is an excuse to eventually say, what's to stop Midtown to be like, we're going to stop distributing and just sell it directly to your customers. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't think they'll do that, but I think that they either need to shit or get off the pot. They either need to be a distributor or they need to be a retailer. I don't think you can be both. I think that's pretty shitty. But let us not forget that Diamond did that too. Diamond had their own line of like a chain of stores selling comics and nerd shit. How fair is that? You know what I'm saying? At the same time, Midtown, I don't necessarily feel Midtown and DCBS is direct competition, but they are because they take sales away. People go to in-stock trades all the time to get their omnibuses at like 50% off. That's because that's DCBS owns in-stock trades, and that's now Lunar Distribution, which solely distributes along with UCS DC Comics to comic shops. So it's a little bit of a conflict of interest, but I think it's dumb. I think it'd be dumb of shops not to carry DC product. I'll tell you that.
I agree.
Yeah. That's insanity. I know you guys might still be doing it, right? I mean, you're still...
Yeah.
Dude, when, they first started this during Diamond shutdown, and they released, 3 weeks of comics before Diamond came back, right? And we got them. So it just sucks because it adds costs. So here's the thing. you're going to start seeing other things. You're going to start seeing some shops not carry DC, and you're going to see some shops be like, we'll give you 20% discount on your subscriptions, 10% off DC.
Wow.
Because it costs more to ship DC
to
books
ship
now.
it.
Yeah.
All right. That makes more sense. Man, are the Marvel books back?
Yeah.
That's bi-weekly.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
bi-weekly right now, but that's only for the next few weeks.
Yeah, next week's Marvel.
Like right now, Marauders, the next issue of Marauders is out, and Jelani, you got to read it because it's a good one.
Because
It's really good.
Jam.
You're gonna like
Marauders
it.
is known, man.
You get to find out what Emma's secret weapons are.
Okay.
That's honestly one of my favorite X books right now.
Yeah, dude. Kate. What happened to Kate?
We're still getting to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what comes out at Marvel next week. I'll take a look. Dylan or Brooks, do you guys have any thoughts on the DC stuff?
It's not really my forte. I'm not so much interested in how the sausage is made.
You just want
you just
want
yeah,
the Justice League in your box.
Sausage.
Yeah.
You just want that hot dog in your mouth. I get it.
Yeah, next week Marvel is releasing 6 comic books again, just 6. It's Black Cat, Daredevil, Deadpool, Excalibur, Miles Morales, and New Mutants.
Okay. I want all of those. I want to try that Miles Morales. I actually need to start reading Miles Morales. I don't know why I haven't gotten on that train because Spider-Man's amazing. Yeah.
You got to read Venom. Have you read that?
Venom. I haven't read Venom yet.
Is Donny Kate still around?
Yeah. It's dope. The 25th one issue just came out last
Donny
week.
Cates Venom. Yeah, I should probably be reading that.
Where's that crazy noise coming from?
Not me.
I don't know.
It might have been me. That's why I had it on mute. But
It's always you, Dylan.
Sounds like somebody's like at an old-timey press or something.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had that on.
On the
It
presses!
sounds like Dallas.
AC, but I
You
had
3D printing something, man.
Yeah.
You pressing some comics, homie?
No, it was my AC,
What
but
kind
I
of press
really
you
had it
using?
on the entire time. So you guys just started hearing it?
Yeah.
I just heard it there. It just got louder, but now it's kind of
probably because it was like turned on and off. But yeah,
Arminio says he was shocked.
screwed shit up.
Epoch says Diamond is 33 in numerology. Most LCSs were closed, couldn't sell their books. They still had comics from the last week of March. They couldn't sell those. They were closed. What did DC expect?
Yeah.
Aren't there already some small publishers that Diamond doesn't carry? Yes, there's a lot. And now there's even more because of the shutdown. Alterna moved there. And I know Scout did. I've been ordering directly from Scout, but I don't know if that. I think that Scout's solely on their own now. And of course, TKO is on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still on their own, not requiring a retailer. It's different to have a retailer directly order from this company. Like it would have been smarter of DC just to be like, you order them directly from us, and they just have these companies fulfill that, right?
Right.
But somebody would have found out anyway. I mean, they, so I don't know. It doesn't bother me. What always bothered me was my shop complaining about being shorted in damages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you have a tendency to break out the damaged comics on Wednesdays.
Yeah, that hits too close to home.
Like there's usually a stack of damaged comics he has to
It
go through.
hurts. Yeah.
Yep. I just think it's an opportunity for the indie books to shine now when the LCSs near me already started getting Vault and Boom Book. Good.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah,
And if your shop doesn't do it, you got to demand it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm
to
slowing
demand
down on that DC and Marvel shit because look at now DC's screwing everything up. We don't need 2 distributors. Just need 1.
Oh, so you're for the monopoly.
The all-powerful diamond.
Comic book day to Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's stupid.
It's confusing to
Plus, it makes comic book shop work harder on Mondays.
What's
should
up, guys?
make a shirt that says new comic book day is Wednesday, not Tuesday.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. When we get our books from Midtown, I get them on Monday, so it gives me a head start. So I like that.
Oh, now that explains why you get some of your. Well, no, you don't always get them on.
No,
Monday.
because like most shops, as soon as Diamond came back, we stopped ordering through Midtown because we
Yeah.
don't want to order from another comic shop. But now we're being forced into the situation. We're being forced to order from what a lot of retailers view as their biggest competition.
Yeah. Because I don't
Midtown,
understand
you can just buy them online. They'll just send them to you. Yeah. That's true.
And DCBS, Lunar, they're the ones that have been packaging them like really well, like wrapping them up and using bubble wrap, but shipping costs are double. And now not only does it cost more to ship, but now you have two distributors that you're so
2 distributor fees, like jeez.
Yeah, that's
so what now our comic's gonna be $6 or something, like they're gonna screw shit up, man.
They're already I don't know who killed
Shaw.
Sebastian Shaw killed her.
Wasn't it?
Drowned her. Her. Spoiler.
Hey, Scarpad thought that Invisible Man was at best. What a surprise.
He's a Universal Monsters fan too.
My LCS owner was livid this week, 35 damaged books, and they say it's an every week thing, but still wants nothing to do with news distribution. It's because if they weren't comic shops, it would be a different response.
For sure.
The response is because it's a comic shop.
It's a comic shop. Yep.
It's like telling
it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's like telling that hardware store that's been around for 30 years that they got to buy their tools from Walmart to sell. And Walmart gets a bigger cut from their distributor. You know what I'm saying? So like, how much do you think Midtown and DCBS pays for their stuff? If I guarantee if in-stock trades can sell omnibuses at what it costs me to order them from my shop, like from Diamond, they're getting a bigger discount. And it just seems pretty shitty.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in a free market, there you go. But that's why there's, I don't know. I mean, we don't live in a very regulated comic book industry. You know what I'm saying? Most people couldn't give a damn. Yeah. Well, Diamond says they're going to do that too. And they also were saying, well, we could do that, but it would cost more because when you bubble wrap, right? You bubble wrap. Now you can't put as many per package. Now you have to send more packages. You get what I'm saying? So that the cost goes up. Comicsology, problem solved. Scarpad is a big proponent of digital only, I think. I'm not. I still like the. I mean,
holding my books, looking at them.
But I don't have a problem with digital. But I would have a problem with digital only for everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, it's Holshoe. Holshoe, who didn't join us tonight because he says I didn't see the Invisible Man.
Don't volunteer me for work, you son of a bitch.
There you go. Anybody who doesn't know what that's a reference to, just check out my birthday stream.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry that made me cry a little bit. That was great.
That's funny.
Thank you, John.
Chris, says favorite Universal monster flick is The Invisible Woman because Shemp from the Three Stooges is in it. Yeah, we were talking about The Invisible Woman. It's him, and it's also isn't it like Drew Barrymore's granddad or something that's in that?
Yeah. Lionel Barrymore. Yes.
Yeah. Plus, you know, Vault digital comics don't smell as good as Vault physical comics.
Facts.
You gotta have a good smelling comic book in the morning. The best part of waking up is Vault comics in your cup.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yep.
There's that shameless plug there.
Yeah.
While we're doing plugs, Dr. Pepper sponsor us.
Cream soda, Dr. Pepper, huh? That stuff's pretty decent.
It's really good.
Oh my god. All right, so what were we going to talk about? There was something I wanted to talk about. I forgot what it was. That's okay. Oh, that's X-Men. X-Men number ones. I want all of your X-Men number ones. Do you have any X-Men number ones at your special shops?
Were you talking about the 91?
Jim Lee 1991. Yeah, I mean it's everywhere, but I want like all the covers.
You don't already have those?
I have them, but
how dare you?
I want.
We were there, Jelani. You can't.
You were there.
I have them. I just want more.
Okay. When I go in tomorrow, if I remember, send me a message and I'll see if I can get together a set. We may be missing one, or I think we should have them all. I don't see.
I need the gatefold cover and all the other covers that lead up.
You speculating on them X-Men ones?
No, I just want them. Well, no, I have tons of X-Men figures, duh, and I want to.
Bro?
Dude, you should make that scene with the figure.
That's what I'm going to try to do, and I want to do it with the background of those characters, so I can take pictures.
That's cool.
And I haven't done that yet. I hadn't thought of it until like a few days ago. I was like, oh yeah, I should probably get the X-Men ones because I have all the X-Men figures now. So I'll put them at least all together. That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. So that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well, I'll definitely look. You might have to remind me tomorrow though, but yeah.
Okay, no worries. No, that is.
I have them all personally.
Yeah, I have them all. They're just all in storage, and I don't feel like getting them all out, so I'm just gonna buy them again. Whatever. And plus, I want like cleaner copies, so they're not all been up and stuff. I think some of mine are been up.
Oh yeah, some of them probably from when you were like.
Yeah, when I bought them.
Oh man,
I bought them. I for damn sure bought all of them when I was a kid in one sitting.
Oh, I know, man.
Yeah, dude. I didn't even remember that story until I reread it like 2 years ago, and I was like,
I love that story.
I had no clue what the story was until I read it again. I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Magneto's had enough. He finds out that they fucked his head up and just kind of tears. It was Chris Claremont's last story there for a while.
Claremont.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all Claremont, and that was a time I didn't like Claremont. I just love the art.
Start of X-Men Gold and Blue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good story, man.
Excellent X-Men. XX.
Excellent.
Yep. I'm trying to branch back out. I'll see what you got. So
you took a sabbatical from comics for a while.
That is correct.
It's almost like you had to make a decision one day, toys or comics, and you chose
toys.
I chose my toys.
And what's crazy is out of all of us, Jelani's probably got the most impressive toy collection, and he's literally the only one who doesn't have anything behind him.
Yeah,
you freaking nerd.
If I turn my camera around, you'd see all my toys.
Why don't you set your camera up with your badass your back?
To that.
Yeah, thank you, Brooks. Yeah, Brooks has seen my collection. It is quite extensive. Yeah, and I don't want to turn it to all. It's a lot of work to move my stuff around to do all that. Yeah,
tough to move a laptop in it.
Yep, it's all connected to everything. It's connected to like everything. So I'm like, no.
You should put a nice shelf behind you above that couch with some figures on it. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, one of these days I can turn it to the right of me because I am getting another bookshelf on the right side, and then I'll start putting my figures over there, and I'll have like different figures on that one. But I haven't gotten there yet. I got to find a bookshelf that's reasonably priced, and hopefully I'll have to make it. I get tired of making them because they fall apart.
Dude, all you need is some boards and some milk crates, man. That's all you need.
Boards and milk crates. That's all you got.
I look at it every day though, and the milk crates are like this, and I'm just like, one day. And I hope if it does happen, I hope it happens while I'm filming a video. And it just, but then, dude, that would be terrible. Goddamn. I've been looking at cube storage because I think those look slick and cool.
So. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. It's just I have so many things, and I'm getting more as we get them. So it just
bye, Dylan. We don't like you either.
God dang.
I'm sure he's got things to do. We just talk a smack anyway.
Things to do, like what?
Absolutely nothing. You're absolutely right.
The clubs are open, aren't they?
Are they?
How's a dance club open right now? Think about that.
Oh God!
You're gonna be socially distant at a
social distance, baby.
That's how they were doing.
I'd be cool with that because that means I would have room to fucking dance. Because I'm like, sometimes
you just be in your zone,
dude. Yeah. You just want to, dude. You go to a club, and you're like, we just want to dance, and all you guys are just like
on the dance floor,
dirty dancing, booty shaking all around us, all crumbled up together. So, hey, the boy who had 7 is here, man. We just did. Stream together last night that I think was one of our best episodes we did of the Rockin Robbie Live with. What's up, Matt? Good to have you here, buddy. We're done talking about The Invisible Man, but we loved it. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
The Invisible Man.
Oh, man, that'd be great. See, that's what, if Jordan Peele and Will Smith do a movie, I think Jekyll and Hyde would be cool, but I don't think Will Smith should be there. But if they do put Will Smith in there, I am really excited to hear what theme song Will Smith will come up with.
Yeah,
for, Jekyll. That's why Suicide Squad didn't hit so well because they didn't do a dance and a song.
That's true.
All the
For
good Will Smith
Deadshot.
songs have them, man.
Yep.
They didn't put one in there, and they used like half of their budget for all the other songs to get the rights to play all those other songs. And I'm like, you didn't put one Will Smith song in that? I would even see Wild Wild West in there.
Wild Wild West.
Like a Wild Wild West.
Wicka wicka.
Yes.
Wicka.
Why not? Or even get jiggy with it. I mean, something. It'd just be funny, like a fourth wall break for a second.
I've never seen The Incisable Man, Matt, but
No, I think
have to
that's
check
like
it out.
It's about a guy made of teeth, maybe.
yeah, right.
All
It's the
inside
sequel to
wall.
Teeth. It's the sequel to Teeth.
Oh,
Here's
God.
a funny story.
It's true.
Here's a funny
story.
That's the Tony Horton knockoff.
Anybody seen the movie Teeth?
It is quite possible.
Dylan, have you ever seen that movie?
A wall.
Oh, I've seen it before. I just can't like remember it.
It's the one with the lady that has
Forget it.
vagina dentata. She
It
has
was
teeth on her
yeah.
vagina. And
teeth in her vagina.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it bites
What about
cocks
a
off.
lot team?
You've never
Teeth?
seen that?
The
Strickland.
doctor still gets me.
I'm not watching that.
Oh,
It's a really good movie. Okay, but
It's
here's the thing.
really
Here's the
Yo,
thing.
what up, Matt?
So we watched Teeth, right? And we thought it was kind of fun. So we invite Jelani over, and we know how Jelani gets during horror movies. Like, for instance,
Yeah.
when I watched Jelani, I watched Paranormal Activity with Jelani, and Jelani was like terrified for fucking weeks.
Oh, man. That's a creepy one. Dude, that's a creepy.
Listen, you can't fuck with people while they sleep. That's it. Don't listen. I'm fine.
You
fine
got
with
so
you
many
spending
personal
time
like
alone.
rules and codes
Do
of
not
conduct.
scare
You're like,
me
you can't
while
fuck with people when they sleep. You can't.
Can't do it. But
No,
then,
dude,
like,
that movie specifically, I was in high school when that came out, and my
Mhm.
homie, he got a scholarship for football. He was like 300 pounds. He went to Troy to play football. We're in the middle of that movie, and that scene you're talking about happens, and he stands up and he says, "F this," and I walks out. I was like, okay, I know it's okay to be scared, you know?
Yep, it's okay.
So we invite Jelani over, and we don't tell him what the movie's about.
Oh, no.
So we're watching the movie, and you just see Jelani slowly start figuring this out, right? And he's just like, because like it shows that in the very beginning, it shows her as a baby, right? And somebody's like, "Ooh, like yeah," and they're like, "Ooh," and then they like bite the finger, right? And Jelani says something like, "Ooh, she bit him," you know, and we're like, "Yep," and we're just waiting because when it reveals what actually happens, it's pretty graphic, like cock.
It's vagina dentata.
You know, the dick falls out and
gotta watch
everything.
that thing. I remember watching it like when it first came out.
Oh my god,
Oh.
Brooks,
I
you were
can't
there for that,
remember, like,
right?
any of it.
Brooks,
Yeah,
you
we
were there
watched
for
that
that,
together.
dude.
I haven't watched it since.
Watching
I have not watched
Jelani's reaction to that was like the best thing that's ever happened. Like
Oh,
that was
it. It was
great.
so wrong.
I
Because
could
one
only
thing about
imagine.
Jelani is Jelani overacts when he watches movies. Like he still watches Jaws
overact.
to this day and starts screaming every time the shark comes out, like it's real. You know what I'm saying? Does he not, Brooks? Does he not, Brooks?
Yeah.
Don't hate on me.
We're not. I don't hate on you. I'm saying I celebrate this. I love this about you. That's why we made you watch Teeth with us and didn't tell you what it was about, so
was
that when you
awful.
saw her, when you saw it bite off somebody's dick, you were just like,
Oh.
that was such a raw,
Oh.
natural reaction.
Oh,
Literally, raw and uncut.
I have not watched that movie since. And every time I see it, and it's like free almost everywhere, and I'm like, I will never watch.
Shocker.
Oh, it's Teeth. Oh, never mind.
Brooks, do you remember liking the film?
Yeah, I actually did kind of like it.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's just I'll never watch it again because I
I think I'm good.
pass.
You should watch it,
free.
Strick.
I
It's
gotta
a
watch
hard
5
pass.
Rambos first.
Oh, that's right. We haven't said that yet.
What?
I don't even- So next week on the channel for Friday night movie night, right? We're doing the Rambo-thon, everybody. We're going to be talking about all 5 Rambo movies in one live stream. We're kicking off Action Fest.
Lady's face.
I ordered my copy of Last Rambo today because I went to Walmart and they didn't have it. They only had
You
it
have
on
Last
DVD.
what?
They had
It's
it on
the
DVD.
HBO or something. It's on
Your
HBO.
Walmart might have it.
Yeah,
But,
probably.
My Walmart did not. But yeah,
I
we're
gotta
doing
watch
Rambo.
Oh my god, all of them.
We're doing
Oh,
Rambo
even
next
three.
week. And then the
Even
week the week after that, we're taking off because we made plans. Me and Strick did to go hang out with Stokes at the studio, and then we're gonna do a horror movie poll for Dylan. Even though Dylan's the reason why we did Army of Darkness, so we're gonna do that poll. Dylan's gonna pick 10 horror movies, and I'm gonna pick 5 to put on the poll. And then after that, we're continuing Action Fest with a Mission Impossible night. And I'm finally going to watch the Mission Impossible movies. And I've even invited Drew on because you remember it's the bet I made with Drew. And now I'm like 3 years late. But I've invited Drew, dashing he is, member of the Excitable PCP crew, to join us. And he said, God damn, I might have to buy a camera for this.
How many Mission Impossible
you guys all wanted to watch Army of Darkness?
Yeah, we did, Dylan. We do appreciate it.
I wanted Killer Clowns to win, honestly, but I was totally happy with doing Army of Darkness.
Hey, put it on the new one, man.
I will.
So everybody right now, start watching them Rambo films. We got 5 to watch. We'll be covering them next Friday.
Yeah, I've never seen them, so I'm excited.
They're all good. I don't know about this last one because I haven't seen it, but they're all.
If we think Rambo 2 is good, we'll think this one's good too. Trust me. I love the Rambo movies, man.
Rambo gets more intense. The first one is kind of subtle. It's a real kind of real gritty thing, but in all of the rest are over the top. It's nuts.
The body count goes crazy.
It's just like he just kills people now. This is just in the first movie.
He kills nobody.
He kills like one guy accidentally.
He doesn't even kill that guy. He just throws a rock at a helicopter and a guy falls out. That's not his fault. That's not John's fault. You know, we can't blame that on Rambo.
But everybody else.
Who started this?
Everybody.
It's never over.
Nothing is over.
They drew first blood, not me.
All right, damn it. Don't spoil it.
It'll be fine. It's gonna be
Dylan, do you like the Rambo films?
I actually saw Last Blood in theater with my dad when it came out.
I haven't seen
I actually did a review for it. Yeah. It was one of my first few reviews, actually.
Nice.
Really? I really like the one before.
Yeah, Rambo. Last Blood. Yeah, I like that one too.
I really like that one.
Rambo is
it's so gutsy and gory and just badass.
He's just mowing people down.
And he's just mowing.
Yeah.
We tried to count for Rambo.
Yeah.
How many people died in that movie? You can't.
Successfully. I remember that, Jelani. We successfully did a kill count for 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 at a certain point. It was just how many do I put down for that whole hut that just got destroyed? Like, I was like, you just lost count, dude.
It's like Zombieland 2. It's just you can't do it.
It's really crazy. It's like
pure action. It's like
yeah. The first movie is like 1 accidental death. The second movie is like 20 deaths. The third one's like 50, and then the fourth one is like hundreds of people died.
A village of people
from Rambo. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a point to the movies, or is he just killing everyone?
There's a point to all of them.
There's a point to all of them.
Okay.
And the Rambo 3 has a very ironic point that it makes.
Whoa, bad.
Well, no, it because it tells you to support the freedom fighters in Afghanistan.
Right. Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of armed the Afghanistani people. Yeah.
Yeah. We wanted to prop them up against Russia, right? And then they wound up becoming.
They became what they became.
Yeah, you know.
My bad.
It's a very ironic ending to Rambo 3.
But still war bad.
In Rambo 4, they go to, it's not called Burma anymore, right? But it goes down to that area. Yeah, they go to Myanmar. They go down there and that's a good one too, because it's a bunch of the fourth one deals with, at this point, he's just living in this village in the East, and he's just trying to
rebuild his life,
right? You know, and
he's like, he's a shipboat captain.
Yeah. And so this very
very
naive group of white American missionaries are trying to reach these people in a war zone. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you don't know what war's like. Rambo's a former soldier. And yeah.
That's what Rambo did before he became Rambo.
What'd you say?
Rambo's a soldier. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What all the movies are about, man.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Stallone is so damn jacked in Rambo 3. Oh my god.
Yeah, he is. He's glistening. The
He's
man
oiled up like
oiled.
he's pure
And
cocaine,
he's
like Rick.
Like
he's
Dolph
got this
Lundgren and
huge
He-Man.
mullet with this red bandana around his. Oh my god, it's classic. It's so classic. He flies that helicopter with the missiles.
That's what Gremlins 2 references with
Oh
when
yeah,
his bandana. And
yeah.
they're like, pushed him too far.
It's so over.
Rambo films are great.
They are. I have not watched Last Blood yet. I really want to see it. I really want to see it now.
Epoch says, nice to know you can jack up on testosterone, HGH, and some Deca in your 60s and still live. That's
Yeah.
If you're rich like
Hey,
Stallone.
man.
You live forever.
Matt says, love me some Mission Impossible. See, the story is this. I watched the first 2 Mission Impossible films, Matt, and I hated
the second one.
so much.
Yeah, I don't like the first one that much either.
I don't like the first one. I don't like the first one at all.
I like the 4th and 5th.
I like the second one because Tandy Newton. I like the third one because Philip Seymour Hoffman. They get better. They get better. And
that's
the
what
fact that Tom
what I
Cruise does
hear.
it
But Jelani, you were there with me. We worked at the movie theater when MI2 came out, and the best thing about that was that Metallica song.
Disappear.
Or that bike sequence.
the
No,
bike.
that's so stupid. Gemini Man bike.
Woo, man. John Woo.
But
Yeah, if you get past the 5th movie, it gets good.
oh
Yeah,
Jesus!
Oh my god! What
I
is
made a
it with
bet.
the-
Stop hating on this
the 4th is
movie,
so
man.
good.
They're gorgeous.
Drew, member of the Excitable PCP crew, is a huge Mission Impossible fan, and I made a bet with him one year, and I told him like, hey man, if the Patriots lose, and it was like the playoffs, and I don't remember what Super Bowl it was. It was a few years ago, and I was like, if the Patriots lose, I'll watch the Mission Impossible films, and the Patriots lost, and then I never watched them, and he won't let me live it down, and we're finally going to do it to celebrate 5 years of PCP. We're finally going to do the Mission Impossible Action Fest, which we've been trying.
Yeah.
We literally plan one every summer, and then I just go, I don't want to watch these
All of
Mission
them.
Impossible films.
It's so good though. You need to
Hard to
watch
get me excited to watch a Tom Cruise film, man. Y'all know that.
I know, but the first one to me is too slow. It's just muddled nonsense. But as they go and as you realize how many stunts that man does on his own, like Mission Impossible 2, he free climbed or climb based or so whatever the crap you call it, like free form with no ropes and shit.
Ooh.
Man, he did that himself.
Have you seen Cliffhanger? I'm sure Stallone did all that himself too, right?
He had ropes.
That had some of the worst CG too, man. And like some of the worst like green screen.
Yeah.
MI2 is the best one by far, Nunya Biswack says.
Wow. Tandy Newton. You're right.
Hey, what's up, David? Says this is the worst looking groups of nerds I've ever seen. Well, right back at you, mother.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah,
Son.
judge not, dude.
Yeah. Get out. Get out.
Y'all
So
leave him
I'm very
alone,
excited
man.
next week to do Rambo. I'm very excited. That means I got to fit 5 Rambo films in somehow and be able to hand off the Blu-rays to Brooks.
Oh wow.
Brooks,
Yeah,
why
I
don't
need the movies too, Robbie.
you get a year? There's no
Bring
way.
him up to shop on Wednesday and I'll pick him up, man.
You think I'm going to be able to watch 5 movies by Wednesday?
Come on, man.
Just
I'll
watch
watch
the
all
first
of them.
3 and then get the 2 off.
I'll watch
the next day.
First Blood. I'll watch First Blood tonight.
Why doesn't Brooks just go to Walmart and spend $15 and get the collection?
Just get them all,
They
man.
have it up there.
No,
now.
I'll start watching them maybe tomorrow night or something. Maybe tonight. Maybe I'll go watch the first one tonight. It's always a good movie to watch. The first one, First Blood.
It's great. It's got Brian Dennehy in it.
Yeah, it does.
Brian Dennehy.
As the asshole cop.
He is the cop. Yep. The sheriff or where he
It has that redheaded guy from the CSI. What's his name?
Oh, is that Stoltz? No.
Eric Stoltz. Not Eric Stoltz. Eric Stoltz isn't in that.
Talking about Hank.
Hey, I can't remember. The guy, he's one of the CSIs. He's the guy who always does the sunglasses thing.
Oh, David Caruso.
Yeah, Caruso. That's it.
I always get him confused with Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
It's his uncle or something.
Yeah. Carrot Top Caruso. That's right. He's in
Carrot
that
Top Caruso.
movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, I love that show.
You can tell this is a comic stream when there's 5 people with 18 eyes.
Heyo.
Oh,
What is it?
okay.
1963? Calling us
8,
4 eyes?
wait,
Oh,
4, 8,
Aw.
12, 16. Yeah.
he's talking about our glasses.
I like how Brooks counted.
we're nerds
Let's
because we've
check
got
this math.
glasses.
I can't see without my glasses.
I can't.
Dylan, when
Oh,
you
well.
gonna get some glasses, man?
What'd you say?
When you gonna get some glasses before
Join
us?
us.
Sunglasses I got.
And even 24 or 22.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of sunglasses, everybody, next
I got
Thursday
20/20 vision.
we're doing a Teen Dog Shades night with Bueller and Perry, so that's gonna be super fun.
Oh
Talking
snap!
about UFOs and all
my
kinds.
goodness.
Perry can
Both
tell
of
you
y'all.
his abduction story.
Perry has an abduction story.
Yeah.
Well, he told me his
Nah.
one of his stories, but he didn't necessarily tell me an abduction story.
Yeah. He's got one.
Okay,
No, I'm just kidding.
it's okay. He does have a story though.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
You ever seen anything, Dylan?
What's up?
You ever seen anything like a UFO or a ghost or anything like that?
My uncle said that I think he said he saw an alien, but no, I've never seen anything. I wish that'd be kind of cool, but
I'm right there with you.
I ain't afraid of no ghost. I ain't afraid of no
Shut
alien.
You would be so damn scared, Jelani. You wouldn't go ghost hunting with us.
Hell no, because I'm not going out in the woods in the dark at night for any reason. Why?
We didn't even want to go out in the woods. We wanted to go into like houses and shit.
No,
Boy,
hey,
you never been cow tipping?
no, sir.
That's how you get good shrooms.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the real good shrooms. Yeah, I
This
asked-
fool, I'm just gonna say, Jelani says, I ain't scared of no ghost, but I ain't gonna ghost hunt. I ain't gonna go do that.
Just hearing you say
They're
that
real.
enough to crack me up.
they're not real.
That is such a blatant lie.
That's not real.
If they're not real, why wouldn't you do a ghost hunt?
Because there's other stuff outside.
Mhm.
By the way, let me tell you.
Like
Plan.
ticks.
Let me tell you something, Dylan. You're gonna really like this story. So we like going to haunt,
Aspirin
like
up.
haunted houses and like thrill stuff like that. You know, like put on haunted houses, not real haunted houses. I mean, we would like to do that too, but you know, we like going to the haunted attractions, the haunted houses, and everything. In fact, you know, we really need to get doing to. We
Start
didn't
doing
do
that
it the last couple of years, so we really need to do it. There's nothing like going to a haunted house with Jelani. We went to the Atrox haunted house down outside of Birmingham. I think it's in Killen. It's one of my favorites, and they always have a guest every week. We've met.
It's
What's the dude's name from Repo and the Devil's Rejects and Bill?
Oh,
Bill
the
yeah, he
Mosley.
died.
ball guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We met
Yeah.
Bill Mosley there. I met Doug Bradley there, Pinhead himself.
Damn.
So it's a
Nice.
really cool place, and they get some really nice horror talent there.
It's in Leeds, isn't it? I thought it was in Leeds.
Leeds, I thought it was Killing. I don't know. It's
can't-
anyway, it's Atrox, right? AT.
ROX.
Man, I hope that the COVID stuff doesn't kill Halloween, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I know.
It might. It
It's
just
gonna
might.
piss me off so much if I don't get Halloween kills.
So one of the last
Yeah.
one of the last times we went, Jelani goes with us, and like we're probably like a quarter of the way through, and Jelani gets spooked by something, right? And runs through the crowd ahead of everybody.
I sure do.
Just goes ahead of everybody.
He knock you all down.
He like
I would have.
Scooby-Doo's it right fucking through us, right? Like, and just he disappears into the darkness ahead of us. And we're like, what? Okay. So we keep going. We never see Jelani again, except for one time. All of a sudden, a little over halfway through it, Jelani runs back the other way through the crowd. He runs right back through us like he's Shaggy and Scooby all in one, you know, with his legs were like spinning and everything like that.
Asses and elbows.
And he runs right back through us. And we're like, what the hell? That was Jelani. so then we get out and we're like, where the hell's Jelani? And then we see Jelani come out from the entrance of the haunted house. Like Jelani had somehow made it through the haunted house, turned around, and ran back through and came out the front. Do you remember that, Jelani?
Yeah.
When you came out in the lobby, and we were like, "Where the hell you been?" And you're like, "That thing was scary as shit."
Yeah. I was scared, man. I was legit scared. That place was like stuff was coming out and like almost touching me and
You
just
had to go through that where
just
all the inflatable balloons or whatever, and you had to like squeeze your way through it, and people were like touching you or something.
It's so claustrophobic too. Oh yeah. Oh, pass. I hate haunted houses, but I love to go to them. I love haunted houses just for that.
We tried to take you to Disturbia, and you wouldn't go with us. Remember that?
That's all that black mold, man. I didn't want that black mold.
Didn't know about the black mold yet.
I know. That's all that.
Have y'all ever do the one where you have to sign a waiver and they're allowed to touch you?
No.
Hell no.
Yeah, I did it once.
In Germany or something.
No, they did one. They did one in Birmingham. It's Lost Furnace. Yeah.
Pass.
So the way they do it is you got to sign a waiver or whatever, and they have like this huge projecting screen where they throw on old monster movies, and they don't tell you when, but they tell you at some point in the movie, all shit's gonna break loose, and you got to run through the maze to get out, basically. And so that's what happens, and they're allowed to touch you because you signed the waiver and everything. It was crazy.
My only problem is that like
Pass.
I have a bad natural reaction in these haunted houses when I get like spooked, just to be kind of like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm worried that if someone touched me, that I would knock the hell out of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
me too.
I mean,
Does the waiver include me knocking a tooth out? Like,
it protects them as well.
I like the ones with good atmosphere. That's why I like Disturbia. We had a guy who did I can't remember his name. I've worked with him before, but he's the one that ran Disturbia, and it was a haunted house we had locally because we used to have the JC's haunted house, and that fell away.
Yeah.
We finally had Disturbia because here, Dylan, we have to go like 2 hours to get to a good haunt.
Yeah.
And, we
ours is kind of far too. It's like at least half hour.
yeah, and I love atmosphere in haunted houses.
Ours isn't that good though.
People coming out and just jump scaring me, that's exciting too. But I like atmosphere as well, and I like really good animatronics. And Disturbia, this dude was a makeup artist, and he was a horror makeup artist. He had these amazing, like remember that big dragon? Brooks, did you ever go?
Yeah,
it was me, James, and somebody.
I've seen it.
I never went
I've
to
seen
Disturbia.
pictures of it on. It was on Facebook. It was on a
They
Facebook
had this
page.
ghost with these long, and he made them all themselves, all these animatronics, and it was beautiful. And it was in an old food world.
There's a Bruno's. What in the world was that?
It was Dylan.
It's always
Damn,
me.
Dylan.
I know only you guys would go silent for that.
But yeah,
It was a Bruno's.
it was at a Bruno the food world.
Shit, I'm done.
Oh, it was a food world too. Yeah.
There was
Are
black.
Bruno still around?
No,
No.
there was
No.
black
No.
mold all up in it, and
Black mold just took it over.
went in there, and they found out that there was black mold, and they kind of got misled about the building, and it got in all of the equipment and everything that he had made, and so he was like, "Well, that's done, right?" And they didn't get to recover from that. But I remember that somebody came in and bought all of that stuff and put it out in another haunted house, and there was a big controversy that year because they were like, "No, none of the stuff has black mold on it," and the dude kept being like, "No, do not go to this haunted house. That stuff is very dangerous." And I kind of missed that fact that we have it. And we need a good haunted. And they would have a band out there playing the
Playing.
Cornhuskers.
Yeah.
They had deep fried Oreos, and I love a good haunted house. You make a big event out of it. You take a big group,
Ooh, deep fried Oreos. That sounds so good right now.
a little bit of drinking, have a little bit of fun with it, man.
A little bit of funnel cake.
We do need to find a haunted house this year, though.
We need to find one between us and Cleveland, and
And
we
Cleveland.
go in there. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, let's go, Dylan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be fun as hell.
And you'll love me. I'm great at it.
Yeah, the roof collapsed. That's what happened. The roof
That's
collapsed.
right.
Black mold. That's how they
The
found.
roof was on
That's-
fire.
That's when they found out about the black mold. That's right.
We have a weird local
Oh.
Halloween attraction: fleet of buses with the tops chopped off, zombies swinging on ropes, and the moving bus and attack riders. What?
Oh, what?
That's crazy. That is
Yo,
It's an elaborate haunted house attraction.
I've
You
seen
get
the
like
ones where they're like
they get like $30 an hour to just do this.
you see the ones that are like paintball, and you get to shoot the people dressed up as zombies. What a shitty job.
yeah.
Ours are just like rooms you can't see in, and they got creepy ass people in there.
Like live
They're
action
like always
Resident
like those. They're like the ones you can't see in, and it's like, dude, like I have to be able to see. Like, I hate those ones.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's like one where it's like filled with smoke, and it's just like you can't you feel like you can't even breathe because just smoke
Yeah.
or see because like the smoke is like all in your eyes. It's just like weird. Like I hate it, but I
The
like going to
unknown.
them.
It's the unknown that scares me the most. Something
Yeah.
about the unknown.
I just need to be able to see where I'm going. I mean,
Yeah.
someone can jump out, but it's like if I can pitch black, like I don't know, it's just I
That's the
hate it.
Xbox factory right there.
Because you feel like a blind person, you know, like
For sure.
Look at that atmosphere there, y'all.
That place was scary, man.
Yeah.
That place was straight joint.
Digits and leads. Like that's how you get it.
Chicken leads.
That's where Jelani came out of.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, that's intense. I like it.
Yeah, it's
We
really
need to do this.
And they have celebrity guests. See, celebrities, see who's coming this year. Stay tuned. They always have good ones. Angus Scrim was there one year.
yeah.
The year we went to
Nice.
Bill Mosley, he was there the week before, and I was like, "Oh my god! If I would have known that,
Yep.
to meet the tall man would have been a dream."
yeah, I would love to meet Bill Mosley. Chop top.
He was great.
Yeah.
He was great. All right, y'all. You want to go ahead and dip into show and tell, man?
Yeah,
man.
I'm getting tired.
Let's do Dylan first, then.
Oh, we don't got to. Oh, here.
We're going
Let me
to
get it then.
that way you can open up.
Well, we might be here a while with Strick, you know.
All right, Mr. Crinkly,
like
Mr. Crinkly
nah,
Rappers.
I'm
and
fully apart now, so I can make jokes.
you damn making hot pockets in the middle of the stream.
Hey, that was a quesadilla, man.
Adilla.
I only say that because of Napoleon Dynamite. I know it's a quesadilla.
make yourself
You
a
ever
case
seen
of Dilla.
Napoleon Dynamite? God damn
got-
it, Napoleon, go make yourself a damn quesadilla. But this is old, but just in honor of the movie.
I almost
Oh, dude, I want that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love this, man. It was hard to find. I wish I could get the chase
I want the chase so bad. Where it's
so bad because
What's the chase?
I got the black and white mini. I got the whole series besides
Nice.
Phantom of the Opera.
Nice. Phantom of the Opera. Oh, sorry.
But the main, so I got a couple figures, but they're already unboxed. But
I
so
love
this is what,
probably for the best, Dylan.
yeah, definitely.
Hey,
I just got these.
Space. Yeah, dude.
You know I love them, man. And then
Nice. I like them
Did they-
balloons.
did they do all of them?
yeah,
The three,
except
right?
they didn't do like the big one. This one came out a few months ago.
Nice. That's the creepy one to me, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got the little ray gun.
Yeah.
And this is the last one.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's the one he knocks the head off. of.
My block off.
Those look good, man.
Those are dope.
Those
Man.
look really good.
Yeah, dude, these for Funko Pops, man. Like these are really cool. I thought.
Yeah.
'Cause I've actually been kind of like toning down and kind of getting out of the Funko Pops. That's why I got like some figures and stuff. But the figures I was gonna show were these.
We're
Hey.
Dream Warriors.
There you go. You got
Ready to
the
doing
exact-
the
All right,
Karate Bro
one.
pose.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
got
exact
that one, man.
You see the knee?
Mm.
I got that one. That's a dope figure.
Yeah.
Oh, Freddy.
You know, I had to get my favorite.
Nice.
Is that the movie one? The newest one?
Yeah, this is the 2018.
Yeah, I've got the same
I
one.
want to get the old school Halloween 2 one.
Yeah.
But
I got him and I got Laurie Strode too.
yeah,
I like
yeah. I hear they're doing a Dr. Loomis and Laurie Strode from Halloween 2, so I got this one.
Hey.
This is the final chapter one.
Yeah.
Like
Beautiful.
one head you
The
can
face?
I always forget to put it on, but there's
With the
one head
axe.
where
Or
you can
the
stick the
heading.
knife in the face, like
Nice.
Corey Feldman, and he
Yeah.
sticks it through his eye. So,
Hell
yep, that's what I got.
Dope. Looks like we got some people talking about some of their favorite haunts. Reaper's Realm. Mike says Netherworld and ATL. I've never been to that one. He also says there's the Dent Schoolhouse in Cincinnati. That's not quite halfway between Dylan and us. I think it's more towards his direction, but
Actually, like Ohio's
Maybe
like a
there's
straight
something in
shot from here.
maybe there's something in Kentucky. Yeah, I had family that lived in Akron. We used to drive up there. So it's not too bad.
Where do you live, Dylan?
Over in like Cleveland, Ohio.
How far is that from Columbus? Because I know that's like
Maybe an hour tops.
I think it's from here to Columbus is like 6 hours.
My dad went to Columbus for.
It's like a straight shot. You just take 65 all the way north.
Yeah, Columbus isn't that far. It is about an hour drive, but I mean maybe 40 minutes to an hour. But yeah,
Maybe we should head up there and check out the something in Ohio, man. That'd be fun.
yeah.
That'd be a fun trip, wouldn't it? Just get the PCP crew together on the road at Halloween time to go visit Dylan and go scare the shit out of themselves at a haunted house.
So fun.
Yeah.
I swear they'd better have like Halloween Kills out so we can go see it at the theater.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool, man.
They have a drive-in like 30 minutes away from my house too. If they had it at the drive-in, that would be a even funner time.
I don't know. I like good sound. So.
Oh yeah, I do too. I like, you know what I like? I like to see it first in the theater and then I'll go see it at the drive-in.
I've never been to a drive-in though, so it's an experience.
Really?
I've never had. Yeah.
Well, that's what I had a feeling. Maybe not, because not everyone. That was something I always did growing up. I loved it. There used to be one like right down the street, and then it closed, and now we have to go to one that's like a half hour away. But at least we have one, you know.
If you go to a drive-through with Jelani and he's in your car, don't let him have any nachos because he'll grind the shit out of them right in your carpet. Speaking of which, Jelani, what about show and tell? What you bring?
You're welcome. I've got
You're welcome.
I've got cars today. I like my fancy cars. My first one, I'm going to show off my Batmobile.
You got some Hot Wheels?
That's my Hot Wheels Batmobile from 1989.
That's dope.
I haven't taken it out yet.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find all the cars. Yeah,
That's my
I wanted to
favorite
get the
Batmobile.
duck more than anything, and like it's got the Batman animated series. But I found these at Walmart, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to find all of these." And I'm starting the collection with this one, and then the other one I found was the tumbler. This is my the light is in the way. Hold on, it's too shiny. Yeah, I'll change the angle.
Dude,
But
we need these for the racetrack, Robbie.
I think they're bigger than the
They're
racetrack.
bigger than the cars. Yeah, they're bigger than the Hot Wheels.
We do have a couple Batmobiles though for the racetrack.
But the tumbler is the cleanest one. I love this one because this is the Batmobile I would own because I want to jump buildings.
Me too.
But like I don't have the rest of them yet. But I saw the Batwing, and I will get that one next. And then the Batman the Animated Series one I want to get, and of course the Duck. But then finally, the last Hot Wheel I had was my Thundercats Classic Thunder Tank. I found this at Target just randomly. I was like, they make this? I haven't taken any of these out of the box yet because I don't have anywhere to put them, and I'm scared to run them over carpet because the carpet will get inside of the wheels.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for this one, of course. But I want to get other Thunder Tank stuff too, so I've got to find the original Thunder Tank.
Original one, yeah, dude, that'd be super.
Yeah, I gotta get that one. I can't wait to get that one. But yeah, that's what I got.
Hell yeah.
That's true though, Robbie. At the drive-in, you can actually watch through your car. Your stereo is
That's why we gotta take somebody else's car then. I can.
Nice.
I drive. You ever heard that Adam Sandler song about his piece of shit car? That's me. Okay.
Dude, I get that.
Everybody's always like, can you buy all these cool toys and shit? Like, because I got a shitty ass car, man. Barely holding on.
It's just there.
Strickland, what'd you bring for show and tell?
Keeping it simple. Got a comic book and a pop. Nothing too eccentric. I got this. I think is. Let me look up his name again. Fran Sevilla. He did the Dead Day incentive cover.
Francavilla.
Okay, that's how he said.
You got his cover for Dead Day?
Yeah, man.
That's nice.
Look how beautiful it is.
I know.
This is a really dope book if
nice.
y'all haven't checked it out.
Okay.
And then we got
Venom, Venom, Venom.
That
Oh,
amazing
yes.
316 iconic cover. Woo.
I almost bought that pop, but I'm trying so hard not to buy pops.
Dude,
Yeah,
I usually don't open my pops either, but
You can
this is
put
just,
them right back in, man.
looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it does look good. I'll kill you and Mary Jane. Yeah.
And like you said, honoring that Todd McFarlane amazing 316 cover.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Herminio says, nice Hot Wheels Thunder Tank, Jelani.
Thanks, Herminio. Thank you. I want more.
Met Randy Couture in Columbus. Good guy, cool guy in real life. Nice city, too. All right, Brooks, what did you bring for show and tell, man?
Well, I picked up a few things at the comic shop this week. Some of them Age of Apocalypse figures.
What store did you go to?
I don't know, some place. I don't know. It sells a bunch of garbage, and I buy it all the time. I got X-Man.
X-Man!
I like that effect
Nice.
on his eye there, man.
Yeah. Dark Beast.
Dark Beast is dope.
Pondering. This would be most disconcerting if this were to detonate.
I have a Dark Beast in now, Brooks. I'm so excited.
Yeah?
I finally get to get my Dark Beast. I'm excited.
And to
That
throw in
one's the
just
best
kind of
one
a
out of
weird random figure, I got a Goslin from Darkwing Duck.
Nice.
Nice.
Is that from the 90s?
Goblin Gander.
Is that from the 90s?
Yeah, man, this is the original.
Dude, that 90s line of Darkwing was
That's
amazing.
pretty clean. Yeah.
They're pretty damn good.
Yeah, they were. I lost my Darkwing Duck. I'm
I
still
lost my
sad about that.
Darkwing too.
Yeah.
Bushroot, Goslin, and Honker.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
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 You-
All right.
Can
I got
you hear
a
me?
couple things I bought today. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Have you
What?
watched Good Place yet?
No. Have you seen Endgame?
No. What's that? Is that the Dracula movie?
No, it's the
Dracula
third
Endgame?
Star Wars.
Okay.
Third
No, I
Star
haven't
Wars.
seen that. I heard it had a bunch of fucking Muppets in it. I don't know.
No,
I just you guys know me and my Fantastic Four, and I'm really pushing hard towards it now, right? So I got a Fantastic Four 99. Beautiful Jack
Nice.
Kirby Inhumans cover.
Yeah.
The Torch Goes Wild. So this was a precursor to Girls Gone Wild in the 90s, if you remember.
Yeah, it's the first appearance of Human Torch's butt crack, right?
Yeah. Sure, why not? Why not? I opened this one up because you guys know I love my 90s toy biz. I opened this one up Sunday night, and I got Mike cleaned it for me because it was sticky, and now
Nice.
it's
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
That
really
looks
is
really
dope.
cool.
Yeah, it does.
It's all shiny.
Yeah, look
Shiny
at
and chrome.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Love these figures back in the day.
Awesome.
I have an Iron Man as well, and I still have a Hulk Buster right there that I will open one day, but I haven't opened it yet. I do want to point out these turtles. First of all, I got some of my Horde characters here. There's my Buzzsaw Hordak without the Buzzsaw. I looked up the Buzzsaw, and it's like a $50 piece.
Oh, wow.
So I probably will never get this complete. But there's my Leech. There's my Grizzlor, right? And then since it's we did an Invisible Man. Here's my Michelangelo Invisible Man on card figure.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
And I've had this for a while now, and almost every Halloween I almost open this up. So they did these Universal Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures, and I have Donnie as Dracula, Raphael as the Mummy, Michelangelo as the Frankenstein monster, and Leo as the Wolfman, and they glow in the dark, right? And I have them loose. But I have this one on card, and I never got this one. That's the Metal Mutant or whatever. And I don't have the Creature from the Black Lagoon Leo. But I have recently found out, like just a few days ago, because I was looking these up to see like if I could get these two right here. This thing, it's 367 or 362. This thing is one of the most expensive toys in my collection as far as value right now. This thing is worth well over $100.
Don't open that ever.
Yeah, I'm not.
Open it. Do it.
Don't
Do
ever
it.
open that.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Just find a loose one.
Another one I have from that line that's never opened is the April O'Neil as the Bride of Frankenstein.
That is cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh my
Another
gosh, that's
expensive
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
super
glad
dope.
I never opened those.
Yeah, don't
I
open
didn't know
them.
they did those.
Yeah,
Those are dope,
sometimes
man.
you just don't open things, man.
What's really cool about this one, I want to find this loose though, because look, you got the bandaged mask right there
Yeah.
put on, you know, and you see he's clear. He's been yellowed a little bit, obviously, you can tell.
Yeah.
But man, right? And the Turtles Classic always has that amazing box, like card
Oh
art.
yeah,
They
that card
do
is
a great
beautiful.
art. Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. Yeah, I'm glad I have, even the ones I have loose from the first wave are very expensive loose, non-complete. It's crazy. But I do have something to open.
Okay.
My Merman.
Mammons.
Yes, from the Super
Yeah.
7 classic Filmation.
I still got to get one of those.
Merman pop. Merman.
Yep, I got to get that, Orko, and Beastman. And then I shall be.
No, I
complete.
love these because it's Masters of the Universe figures are pretty expensive. Though I do have some classics, mostly Horde and Snake Men.
You good, man? You having trouble opening that toy?
Yeah, just a little bit, but I am opening it from the bottom. All right.
Thank you for opening it from the bottom.
So these are the figures that we've talked about this plenty of times on this channel before, but it takes the original figure and it takes the animated series version and it merges it together into an animated series
The animated
accurate
version.
representation in a classic Motu style. So there's the merman.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
he's so cool. Yeah, he looks
I didn't know
great.
that's what those were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what they are. That's why that Skeletor is so clean.
They should do
That is
that with
so
more
wicked.
toys. Then I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, they lost the rights before they got to really continue on the line. They did like 5 waves. They did some great ones. Brooks has
They
every
did
single one of them.
Yeah.
I
Even
only
like the
few
extra
of them.
ones.
I've got a good bit.
So you can see I got the Battle Cat that we showed off, and
Mhm.
that's the Super 7 He-Man right there.
I even got the Hero and Eldor that they put out, which is
Brooks
pretty
got
neat.
all of them. He got the Robot He-Man. He got the Gold He-Man. The
Frozen
Frozen
Tila,
Yeah. The
Clear
Crystal
Man-at-Arms.
Yeah. I didn't get many of the variants though. Me and Jelani too also have the glow in the dark He-Man because
The
that's
Transforming He-Man. It's just so clean. I need another one just to open because I want to keep that other one on card.
I opened mine, but I had to. It's right there. It's in the middle. You can't really see it, but so Merman comes with his little spear, which is cool, and he comes with his sword,
The
which
corn cob sword.
I love the corncob sword. Yeah, it's exactly what that thing is.
doesn't really want to get on there though.
Don't you have to put it on the other hand, or can you put it on?
Yeah,
the other hand?
maybe. It seems almost like you could get it on here.
Yeah, the other hand's usually a shield hand.
Yeah.
I like him with the spear though. But yeah, let's see what it looks like with the sword. Yeah, there we go. So happy to get the
Yeah,
Merman.
sword
I still
looks
got a
good,
few
too.
more to get. Still got to get my Stratos and my Orko and my
Merman
Prince.
Oh,
has
yeah, I gotta
the
go
old
Stratos.
Funko Pop. I have
Yeah,
a He-Man
forgot it.
universe.
But yeah, that's what I brought for show and tell today.
Cool.
So there you go.
Awesome as usual.
Nifty.
I live for it, man. I love this shit.
I know you get like now.
He's very
Now every
blue.
time I come on, like I look forward to the show and tell because the first time I was like, oh, I was like, you didn't tell me, Robbie, about show and tell. I know you do it on your live streams, but I always forgot that you guys do it. You know, when you guys do your reviews.
Oh yeah,
We're
we got a lot
actually-
of toys, man.
we're actually
A lot
about
of
to-
books.
I'll go ahead and make the announcement, but it's going to be a while till we see it. But I've been recently inspired by some new YouTube channels I've been watching, and I'm going to start doing a little bit more toy videos again.
Nice.
Displaying my collection. The first one I'm going to work on is I'm going to do a video where I'm showing my current superpowers collection. DC superpowers from the 80s.
Wow.
And I'll be showing off all my different pieces. I'm going to get them all together. And it's a way for me to revisit my collection because these guys here that have been in my house, they know how cramped the studio actually is. And
It's
a lot
pretty
of the
cramped.
stuff sits in crates. And I display some stuff, but I'm always having to kind of swap it out.
That's how I am too.
Showcase new pieces, yeah.
Because I don't have a lot of room, so
I'm gonna
I
have to
move
find
things
space for
around a
my
lot.
Age of Apocalypse figures.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them.
I want to make like a horror die.
Hopefully they'll
I
make
was looking
more.
at a Leatherface NECA figure since I got some of those. So
Right. And I've given too much room to pops, so I'm definitely trying to
I know.
cut down. I got to sell some pops. I found out my Neo pop
Same.
was $75, and
Which
I found
one?
my Neo pop from the
Oh,
Matrix.
dude,
Oh,
I had the Captain Rex one. It was like an exclusive, and I sold it for like 50. I thought that I was like, oh, awesome. I knew I should have got two. Right now, it's like $300.
Oh man.
I'm
Wow.
like, all right, it would have been my biggest grail because I lose every time I sell pops. I'm losing money every time. Randomly, I found a few that I have that are worth. Like, I had like a Marty McFly. It's going for like $50, and I sold that like quick. I'm like, I just need the space. Anytime I can make extra money because I'm always losing.
If pops are going up, I'll sell it because I mean, not everything, but I did one time sell something I didn't want to, but I had hit a really rough point several years ago where I just literally needed to make it to make rent, right?
Yeah.
And I sold a glow-in-the-dark White Ranger from the first White Ranger release. I sold it for like $250. That thing is worth like almost like between $500 and $800 right now.
I'm hearing you, man. It hurt me.
I'm talking loose.
Wow.
Okay.
It hurt me looking at that Captain Rex today for a Funko. $300. And all this Clone Wars stuff, because like I sold Mace Windu for like $50, and he was like worth nothing a month ago, like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I found out my Neo was worth 75, and my Zach Morris is worth about 30. And I was like, hey man, I can trade those in right now and get a Commandy hardcover.
Yeah.
Omnibus.
The Funkos take up so much space instead of like, you know, you got that.
Even
I not as much
boxes, and you got to put those somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I just got into the Pokemon ones.
Stacks because they stack up. You know, it's just that's why I got the Killer Clowns one because those are just awesome, and they're not like Funkos because I'm kind of sick of the ones without the mouth. The Killer Clowns have the mouth, and I'm just sick of the blank mouth. You know, the blank face. You know, so. I'm kind of getting out of that, and I'm getting into the figures, honestly. Like, I always wanted the figures, I just didn't have the money because it's like $20, $30, 40 compared to a Funko, $10. You know what I mean? So
it makes sense.
Yeah, hell yeah, it does. Yeah, I definitely got to unload some pops and focus back more on completing some collections. I got a Toxic Crusaders on the way in next week, so I'm excited to be showing that one off next week.
Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah, so excited.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was so excited to get those horror NECA figures, man. The detail on those are like insane.
Yeah,
I'm trying to track down the Mandalorian one.
Yeah.
they
made for NECA? Really?
No, it's Black Series.
Oh yeah,
it's hard.
That's super hard to write.
Super hard to
find,
find, dude.
NECA right now. I'm trying to get Halloween 2, Friday Part 2 because I love Part 2, and it comes with like the decapitated mom's head and everything.
They got that at Walmart. I think that's at Walmart now.
Which one?
My Walmart.
Part
the one. Part 2.
Really? Damn,
they have all of them.
Let me know. I can PayPal you the cash or something.
I'll see if I can find
one with the sack head.
Yeah, sack head. That's what I'm looking for. I wish they'd do a Jason X. So it's Part 2.
Man, so cool.
Yes, they need a frozen head. That's the best kill in all Jason.
Dude, oh my God. So many people hate on that. I love Jason X.
That's the best kill ever.
So I think
the space station of people. Yeah.
Halloween 2, Part 2 Friday, and Leatherface. I do want to get like Hellraiser maybe one day just because he's like iconic, but I've never been a big Hellraiser fan.
Another strike.
I just never been big on it.
You said strike one, strike two.
I respect them. No, I've watched like I grew up watching Halloween, Jason, Scream, and all those, but I didn't grow up watching Hellraiser is all. I do like him. I wouldn't buy a figure if I didn't like him, you know.
Yeah, Hellraiser scared the crap out of me.
That's why it's creepy. Trick or Treat's another cool figure they got. Sam.
That is one pop I still would like to get is the Sam pop.
The Sam pop.
Yeah, because I do want to keep my horror pops, my Ash, my Fred.
Yeah. I won't get rid of my horror ones. I got like Norman Bates, and everything. I got some good ones.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, that brings us to the end of the show, everybody. I appreciate you guys joining us tonight for our look at The Invisible Man, and also just bullshitting around, doing a little bit of show and tell. Next
Our
week,
look at The Invisible Man.
Yeah, right? Like that. Next week, same Rambo time, same Stallone channel. We'll be doing our Rambo-thon, talking about all 5 Rambo movies. That's right. First Blood, Rambo 2, Rambo 3, Rambo, and Last Blood. And I will be watching Last Blood for the first time. So very excited. I think Strickland's watching all the Rambo films for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
I've watched them multiple times except for Last Blood, but yes.
I'm so ready for it. So join us next week. Go ahead and start watching Rambo. It's summertime. It's the time for action, popcorn, testosterone infused, giant fun movies. And we're starting with Rambo. So
you got to go 40 seconds, 3 hours exact.
Yeah, right. We'll keep it going. Final thoughts real quick. Dylan.
Thanks for having me as always. PCP for life.
That's right, for life.
Life.
Good old JAB. Every time I see that, I go, good old jab.
It is good old jab. That's what it is.
You just got jammed.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's what's up. Yeah, you guys are great. This is great. I'm glad we're still doing this. Wash your hands. Black Lives Matter. All the fun stuff. Be careful, guys out there. It's a crazy time. 2020 is a beast. We gotta be big. We gotta be stronger than what we are. That's
100%.
it.
100%. Jay Strick, final thoughts.
Damn, I can't really. I was gonna make some weird jokes, but after that, I can't really. Yeah, just echo what he said for sure. 100%.
What about you, Brooks?
Surprise.
I appreciate you all being here.
Groovy.
Like what Jelani said, it's a crazy time. And the conversation I had with Matt last night, he said it's a crazy time with a simple answer, but the simple answer is the hard thing to do. That's love, and we have so many reasons not to love, but love how we heal from this. But the anger is righteous and vindicated. So yeah, Black Lives Matter, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting more aligned towards having to give my vote to somebody maybe that I don't particularly 100% go down for.
Me either.
Because
Me either.
I'm not down with sending military after peaceful protesters. But yeah, that's it. Black Lives Matter. Y'all have a good one. We're out.